FunPop. FunPop. FunPop.
Hi everybody. What's up? This is FunPop episode number 49. Yeah, we're one away from episode 50. Holy shnikes, I just realized that. Yeah, we had a little bit of a different look. Finally, I'm trying to get stuff moved over into this new systems and stuff that we got. And it's going like a slow process. We're getting there. So we're working on some things, but we finally have the new look for our show in place. Is there There's an echo? Oh, shnikes. Hold on, guys.
Is it me?
It'll be me.
Boom.
Holy echo, Batman. All right, let me check something.
Echo.
Look at all the yellow around us, Psycho. Wow.
Is there still an echo? Is there still an echo?
I feel like I'm in the Sunday comics.
There are 3 Mavs. Is there 1 Mav now?
Kate wouldn't mind 3 Mavs. Oh.
Better? Okay, echo's gone. Correct? Holy shit. One little button, man, is all it takes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys. Hey, thanks for letting me know and being right on top of that shit, because I've had the situation before where we've gone like 20-30 minutes and nobody let me know something was off, and then it's like, oh no. Okay.
What?
But hey, no, thank you everybody. Again, we've been moving over to new things, so that's a casualty. But hey, yeah, it's good to see a lot of people here hanging out in the chat. Good to see you, Xbot. Long time no see you too as well. Infinite, Jesse B, Fifth Horseman, Andrew, Solcon, and hey baby, hey, what's up, Kate? I like your new overlay you gave us and your background you made for us and all this awesome stuff. Thank you so much.
Super cool. I see there's like some spotlights that are animated that's slowly going around. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. You'll see more of it when we have less people too, or more people, depending on how the cameras all shuffle around. And oh wow, hey, Honestooth Fumachith. I think I've said that right. You told me I got it right before, and I hope I got it right.
Clearly
Honestooth Fumachith, with a $20 super chat. It says happy birthday, Mav. Thank you, bro. We had a great birthday stream last night. I did some giveaways and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. We're playing some Halo Infinite Season 2 stuff, some of the new maps and custom games. Absolute blast. So again, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you, dude.
That custom swords that 3-bit made up, that was like super fast, and
that was awesome.
There was some fun modes. I have to give it to 3-bit. The rocket snipers ones was maybe my favorites. I have to say.
Yeah.
So you did pretty good hosting on the game modes last night, 3-bit. I was very impressed. Your game dev came out a little bit there. So
yeah, that was fun. I wasn't expecting the rocket snipers to be that fun, just because I just assumed everyone would use their rockets, but it was actually pretty balanced. So should do that some more.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, shout out to our amazing panel here. Just like every week lately, we've had a full squad now. It's pretty awesome. We have the realist, Jasper, the lore master himself, who has taken his time to painstakingly come up with the next 40 MCU movies as I've given them homework. It's going to be a task.
All of us have.
Yes, we all have. I'm fucking shocked that we all actually did this.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I threw it out there, and I was like, hey, this is going to be a crazy idea, but I just want to see if you guys are up for seeing it, because we tried to do it last week, but it ended up just becoming like a back and forth of us just like, that sucks, you know what I mean? But like this week we've already had the time without interference to actually put our next 40 movies down on a list, and we're gonna let the chat vote on which one of us wins the next 10 years of the MCU. So one of our 40 lists will be the 10-year saga for this next several phases.
So we will choose who is Kevin Feige.
One of us is gonna get the next Feige job. All right, because he's gonna get hired by DC. You know, they're gonna roll out the.
So we're gonna make a Marvel list to go look at
Hey,
like
that's a resume.
You know, WB Discovery is gonna roll out the bank. They're gonna like pay him $1 billion, and they're gonna say, Kevin, build what you did with the MCU because it's worth it, right? They're gonna ask him to come over, and they're gonna give him free reign. No, I don't know if that'll happen, but one of us might get to replace him. But yeah, how's it been besides that, Jasper? You've been busy with stuff?
Not really. Just kind of hanging out. I really haven't done much all day today. Probably play some Halo later tonight. That's about it.
You've been celebrating May the 4th? Been playing with lightsabers and stuff at all?
Yeah, walking around the neighborhood just dueling kids.
Cool. That sounds awesome.
Come here, little shit. Look, come here. You younglings, I'm gonna get you.
What about you, 3-Bit? How's it going, man? Thanks for being here again.
Yeah, it's good. I got this thingy today.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. Some Andies. And I just been working, honestly. I just been doing some stuff at my job, and we're about to release some commercials for like Holiday Inn and stuff like that. So been doing that for the most part, and I want to play Halo tonight. I'm playing Loot River. That game is pretty fun, and Halo. So, and then that's pretty much what I've been up to.
Yeah,
the occasional argument on Twitter.
Argument on Twitter. Well, we've been trying to figure out who sent you those Andie's mints today, because last night we found out during our play session that you've never had an Andie's mint. You never even heard of them. You didn't even know what they were.
I have not. It's super good. Actually, I'm glad I got these.
Caitlin's already made a custom emoji.
Somebody heard our conversation last night, or somebody was part of the conversation last night, and secretly sent 3-Bit overnight like a huge box of Andie's mints, and without any return address, nothing, just a note that says from like the menthol fairy or some shit.
I got the mint, or I got the note here.
Eat at Olive Garden more from the creme de menthe fairy. That's great.
So appreciate it.
Yeah, the
mint fairy. But been pretty good. I'm excited to get into these lists. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, hold on. I really got to see these emojis that
Well, it's just the one. I think
she just put an Andie's mint emoji in there.
Yeah.
And then we have the mellow fellow, the vitamin boy himself. How's it going, Psycho?
I'm doing good. Enjoying my May the 4th. Hope everyone else is. Was watching some Star Wars stuff, and finishing up on Moon Knight. So
right on. I was kind of expecting more Star Wars stuff to come out today, but I guess like Jasper said, like the Star Wars celebrations later in the month. Mm-hmm. So today we got the Obi-Wan trailer, right?
I'm surprised they gave us that much. I thought they would just like give like a 10-second teaser trailer for something. So
right, but like, why don't they just make May the 4th Star Wars Celebration Day? Like
it usually was. I feel like this year it's later.
Yeah.
Usually it is around, unless something wherever they have it held at, it was booked up and they couldn't. So now I just want to know, the fuck is In Exile hinting at there? That's what I want to know, because it looked like he had a camera in his hand and it was filming.
Also, the park was empty, so like, did they rent out the park to take photos?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I am saying. Like, is In Exile just dropped a little hint that they are working on the Star Wars game? I don't know.
Possibly. Something. I mean, there's been rumors that, Bethesda Game Studios, in the Bethesda Studios period, which they're part of, right? Well, no, not that. They're not part of. They were acquired before that. But
yeah, they're just in exile.
There's still rumors about like more licensed games coming out from Xbox.
Well, because there was rumors that Coalition was working on a Star Wars game, but that came out to not be truthful. So, is it an Exile that's working on a Star Wars game, or just a Microsoft game or Xbox game studio one of them's working on it, and then we saw in Exile just sitting at an empty park with their backs turned, and I mean, how the guy was stationed, it looked like he was filming.
Yeah.
What better way to look at the detail and everything?
Xbot just crushed our dreams right now because he said that In Exile tweeted out that it wasn't anything to do with the game, just May 4th. So leave it to Xbot.
Well, that's they do that shit to throw you off.
You think so? You think they're
I
lying?
don't believe in
you
that
think they're lying to us?
Yes, they're lying. All right, because they don't want to spoil anything.
I was thinking that it would be one of the Bethesda studios to potentially be making a Star Wars game, because they are already working on Indiana Jones, and they could have already signed a deal, multiple game deal potentially with Disney. You know, so who knows what's going on there? But there is rumors of more IP and also a Marvel game coming from one of the Bethesda studios in Roundhouse. So that's a rumor that's out there. So who knows? One of the rumors is the ZeniMax Online next game could be a Star Wars game, potentially in a Mandalorian style Star Wars game. However, there's rumors about the Ubisoft game potentially being in that realm as well, the massive Ubi Massive game. So, man, who knows? Like, who knows what's going to happen? I think there's going to be like a renaissance of licensed IP this generation. We've already seen it because we got the Amy Hennig project, the one Marvel, one Star Wars. You got the Quantic Dream project. You know, you have.
I'm excited for that one.
Ubisoft and EA is making another Jedi Fallen Order.
EA's making 3 Star Wars games.
Yeah, I mean, it's like crazy. There's a lot out there. Midnight Suns is coming from 2K. There's rumors of another like Star Wars strategy game out there, like a 4x strategy type game or something. So, man, it's a good time if you're into those kind of properties. And I'm glad that Disney is taking this approach instead of just like picking one studio now or one publisher to make all their games, because it kind of limited the potential. I think we're gonna get a lot more awesome stuff this way. A lot better than the licensed games we used to get back in the day when it was like little games that tied into movies, you know, and they were all kind of rushed, took like 9 months to make. And anyway, games are bigger than movies now, right? It seems like that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
that is true.
All right, guys. So I haven't seen this Obi-Wan trailer yet. And
no,
in celebration, yeah, I have not. I've been too busy. I've been preoccupied. Now, in celebration of May the 4th, I want to watch it now. I got it all ready to go here.
Can you watch that without getting struck?
I'm gonna pause the shit out of it, so we're gonna see. You know, we're gonna test it. All right. I got it here. We're gonna shift gears. And
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Is that Obi's ship? Obi-Wan's ship?
No.
This is
probably just a transport to that planet.
Okay, who's that guy?
That's the Inquisitor.
Okay, the Inquisitor?
The Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the Grand Inquisitor.
Kind of looks
the guy with the hat.
I thought
is,
he was
I think,
Vader
the 6th brother, and then the one on the left is, I think, the 3rd sister or something like that.
Yeah,
okay.
she's an Inquisitor, but with the sisters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet. Stay hidden.
I like the outfit.
We will not survive.
So that's clearly Tatooine, right? So there's that's little Luke.
Yeah.
Right?
That's little Luke.
Little Luke!
Hey, little Lukey! You're going to grow up to do big things. Obi-Wan. I know who that is.
Leave us alone. When the time comes,
Uncle
he
Owen.
must be trained.
Uncle Owen, yeah. And it's played by Joel Edgerton,
same dude
the same guy.
From the...
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But shout out to a movie, if y'all haven't ever seen The Warrior with him and Tom Hardy. Absolutely amazing movie.
Like you trained his father?
Ooh. That cuts deep. Like you trained his father? Okay.
I want Kenobi. He's gone.
Maybe you've been looking in the wrong places.
Who was that? Was that
She really reminds.
That was the sister.
The second sister.
Yeah,
or whatever?
she was like right near that Darth Vader looking dude.
So six episodes.
Yeah, we get the first 2 on the same day.
All right, how long are the episodes?
Do we know?
No, I mean it's probably like the normal 30 minutes, 50 minutes. Who the hell knows?
Yeah. Random times.
Yeah.
I want every lowlife and bounty hunter to squeeze him. You can't run, Obi-Wan!
I'm just having to pause now to avoid getting cut.
Yeah. Hey, that's a new little droid. Look at there.
Yeah, look at that droid.
Hey, he's in the trunk.
Uh-oh. I know whose hand that is. All right, who is this? I'm just kidding. I know who that is. May 27th. Disney Plus. All right.
And I think that is, isn't that like the start of the Disney Day celebration too? On the 27th?
The start of the Star Wars celebration, yeah.
Okay, so that's the kickoff that at least we get to see. We don't,
So we're gonna get a lot of other stuff revealed too. Then that day, I mean, I think it's gonna be a pretty. You think we're gonna get some new movies finally revealed?
They have a conference to show off one movie. It's probably just a Rogue Squadron like update. The only game confirmed so far is Star Wars Hunters to be there. They have a Lego event to show off all the new Star Wars Lego. They have a book thing for all the new books. I think that's all the panels that are announced pretty much.
Is that a lightsaber 3-bit? Oh, what are you?
Yeah, I was holding it during the trailer.
Oh, okay.
Is that the ones that fold in?
Hold on.
No,
Okay.
this one. Let's see if you guys can see it in the dark. I can't even do it in the dark because all my lights are
Darth
too
Vader
far
just
away.
appeared. Do that again. The 3-bit's voice just changed, and he just like became a man all of a sudden. That was crazy.
Wow. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this trailer or to Obi-Wan. I think we're gonna get to see like Hayden Christensen and like sort of what I want to see is like sort of the old combat that we saw in the movies, like the very flashy
Like peak Jedi.
combat.
Yeah, peak Jedi, where they're like actually jumping around, hitting each other.
Yeah.
What's weird is he like
and
backtracks to like when the first Star Wars movie came out, like A New Hope, and their fighting is like
yeah, just really choppy.
Because they're old.
yeah, sure. We can't really fight hardly anymore, but we're gonna sit here and be Jedi masters, But yeah, I agree. I think they're gonna be like ultra Jedi shit going on in this. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So I want to see that. What about you guys?
Well, I don't know how much we'll see of actually Aiden Christensen there, because I think he's going to be in a Darth Vader mask. So I don't know if we're getting flashbacks with his face or if he's just like, how are they doing that?
It'd be interesting if they had flashbacks and like somehow Natalie Portman was involved with that. You know what I mean? Like they kept it from us. And I wonder if they're gonna show Leia at all.
Well, they couldn't really do Portman. She died.
That's what I'm saying. Flashbacks, like
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Hold on.
No,
Leia would be
Leia.
on
Leia's-
Alderaan.
you mean
She
Padme?
would be a kid still.
Yeah.
Talking about
I
Padme?
wonder, like because maybe they could like if they were having Darth Vader and maybe he's like remembering things, that led him to this point or some shit like that. I don't know.
Well, he doesn't know where Leia is. So.
Right.
And I don't think Obi-Wan wouldn't go there because he's trying to get all the... Obi-Wan knows where Leia is, so he wouldn't go to Alderaan to hide because that would be bringing more Sith Inquisitors to a Force person. So
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to fill in some gaps and tell some interesting story. I wonder if they're going to kind of like how much stuff they're going to mess with, and kind of I wonder how people are going to feel about it once it's all said and done. Right? Because this is like something that we've all wanted to see, right? So they kind of got to nail this, Like
That's your first time seeing it, right, man?
that trailer, yeah. I'm really happy about that. I from what I see from the trailer, I think like it looks pretty badass. It looks serious. I didn't want like a corny ass Obi-Wan show. You know, like I wanted it to be like, you know, some because where it left off, serious shit just happened. You know what I mean? Like they're in the dark. This is the darkest of times, right? Where this is taking place. You know?
Yeah.
And from my perspective, I want to see like Luke and you know
you got one too,
kind of
huh?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I want to see Obi-Wan like at his best. You know, I don't know because he's like holding down the fort, right? Obi-Wan's like pretty much what we know of is all that's left right now, and then
No,
Yoda's hiding.
They've kind of ruined the Order 66 thing recently because we got people playing with swords over here. I'm sure that sounds great.
Sorry.
Sorry, Matt.
Happy May the 4th, everybody.
Hey, gotta let the inner geek out.
They've
right?
kind of ruined
Yeah,
the whole Order 66 thing because they just keep bringing in more and more Jedi. Like with the
Right.
Fallen Order, there's another Jedi that live. We know Luke's around, Leia's around, Obi-Wan's around, Mace Windu's not dead. Maybe they just keep bringing them back.
Dead, maybe.
Like they've kind of ruined the whole Order 66 thing. Where like there's still a shit ton of Jedi, but they just don't show themselves. If they all work together, they could just live.
Yeah. I like
Listen here, lady.
I like the way Psychos looks because it's in the dark.
Yeah, his looks cooler.
It's got that wave effect.
Yeah.
That's the noise though.
Yeah, the noises are badass. They're actually coming through really well on the speakers.
Really?
Does it sound good?
Yeah, it sounds great. That's why I'm actually more worried about getting copyright struck from that than the trailer now, you know?
Right?
Too accurate of lightsaber sounds. So what's next after the Obi-Wan show? Like, what's the next...
For Star Wars?
Yeah. What's the next thing in line?
There's a new movie next year, the Rogue Squadron movie. There's the Cassian Andor show, I think, probably later this year, the fall. I think that's probably the next show is the Andor show.
Aren't they doing
Might be an
like
animated
season
show.
3 for Mandalorian?
Well,
Yeah, but we won't get that till next year.
yeah.
Cool.
I don't think.
I mean, we got a lot of cool shit coming out the next 6 months. I mean, later this week we get Doctor Strange. I'm really looking forward to that. Last night we had the season finale of Moon Knight. So we can dive into a little bit of that, but like I don't want to spoil anything. So it's kind of really hard to talk too much about it without spoiling anything. I think we can do more of a in-depth breakdown next week. But just overall impressions, I would like from the show, like as you've seen it wrap up now, you satisfied, you unsatisfied, you wanted more, wanted less.
I'm still confused on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You still confused?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's I've been enjoying the show.
I like the big fight at the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was epic.
And I kind of also wanted to see that's what the issue when you have only 6 episodes to tell the story and not flesh it out, and you only do like 40-minute episodes, and it's just like come on, guys. I mean, do you remember like when the first Mandalorian and I think WandaVision, those were almost hours, maybe 45 minutes to an hour long, those episodes. And then it's like it slowly got shorter and less episodes. It's like, come on. I don't get it, but I like it. I just wish they had more stuff fleshed out. Tell more of the story, because a lot of people don't know the whole Moon Knight's background, at least with the comics. So it would have been nice kind of to flesh out the
Like
whole
where he
Moon Knight
came
story.
from.
Yeah. How did Khonshu come to be, to recruit avatars, like something that kind of like gives a little backstory of how all this started.
Yeah, more backstory on like the gods like part, not necessarily Mark.
Exactly. Yeah. I'd rather know more about Khonshu and then the funny hippo.
I'm surprised they didn't do that.
What episode are you on, 3-Bit? Have you finished it or?
No. I'm about 2 episodes behind.
Oh,
Have you seen the hippo?
No.
Okay.
So you're
3 episodes
because
behind.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Because
I caught up on Halo and then. Well, that was weird. I had the voice.
What is caught up on Halo now?
Master Cheeks.
Master Cheeks. I'm caught up on Master Cheeks, and
so just so you know, 3-bit, tonight is another new episode of Halo.
Okay, and we got like 3 more.
Really?
For Halo?
After this one, 2 more.
The vitamins.
Yeah, there's 3 total left.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I'm enjoying Halo. A lot actually. I can't speak on Moon Knight, so I'm just talking Halo. I am enjoying Halo. I think the casting again is really well done. I'm not treating it like some people on Twitter are, where it's like a part of the game or anything. But I think just moments where they are inspired by the games is really cool. Like we can sort of see where they get some inspirations from the game, and that last episode I think we can all agree was pretty dang good.
The last 2.
The last 2 actually, yeah. So if they keep that up, like, cool. Great action, great cinematography, all that stuff. So
it's awesome.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Well, back to the topic we were actually talking about. Psycho, what about Moon Knight?
I can't talk about Moon Knight, so I had to talk about.
I'm just kidding, dude. That's cool. Yeah, no, I think Jasper and Psycho, you already kind of gave some of y'all's thoughts on it. Like, I agree with you guys. You know.
Wait, so
it's really good.
You guys both really liked it. You like the fighting at the end, but you just wanted more from the story or something.
More backstory on
like,
the gods part,
okay.
like how the Egyptians like gods and powers came to be and stuff.
Yeah, because it kind of just throws it in there, like, oh, here it is, and here's the power. Oh, there are avatars. Like, okay, how did that happen? Like, tell us about it. That's
you almost need like an origin story of the avatars in ancient Egypt and stuff like that.
And that makes me wonder if they're doing a Moon Knight movie to tell that. But why would they sit and have it through a movie to tell us the backstory when they could have done it through the TV show and set up a movie with, like, in a full episode? They could just go, maybe
they could have done the backstory in 2 episodes and then had 5 episodes, 6 episodes of that.
Like, do like a flashback episode to like ancient Egypt and like maybe the first Moon Knight or some shit to explain it.
Yes, it's something like that. Look, we're spitting out ideas out, and it's like we're not even getting paid by Disney, and we have better freaking ideas than some of the shit they're coming out with. So it's like, I don't know. That's kind of what we wish. A little bit of backstory, an episode or 2 to tell us that, and then set up a movie. So like what happens at the end, like what we got. Oh, boom. When the movie comes out, you already got the backstory. So this is just straight going to be what is happening with the MCU.
Yeah, because like the final like creature he fought at the end, I'm like, okay, I don't know who this is. It's just an awesome fight. It's like maybe if you had more like explanation of like why that character was imprisoned and was locked up and freed, like it would have been better.
They did kind of allude a little bit to it earlier, but like not a whole lot. Like not a whole lot. Like it did lead up to that. I have to say, like, without spoiling, again, I'm trying not to spoil, but
it's just
the last fight was like amazing. And if they could have shown what we saw there in all of its glory in like ancient Egypt or something, with all of them, like all the gods and stuff, that would have been pretty epic, because that would have really put it into perspective. And 3-bit hasn't even seen this stuff yet, so I'm really excited for him to see what we're talking about. Right? I think the whole story arc was a really good story, right? Especially with Stephen Grant and Mark Spector, that whole thing, and like going into all that shit. It was a really, really well told story. And ancient Egypt was badass, or not ancient Egypt, but Egypt, and all of the lore throughout it was really, really badass, and how they showcased that. But I would have liked to seen more of what we saw at the end of that show throughout it, right? And now I'm left with wondering what's next, and that isn't very clear either, right? So
Yeah.
it was not enough episodes. It's like they took a movie and they cut it into 6 episodes, right? Instead of like really trying to treat it like it was a show.
Yeah. See, they could have easily made this as an 8-part series, and at least 2 parts going on the backlore, the history of all this, the lore.
So how many episodes were they?
6.
Just 6.
So you guys think it could have benefited from like 8 episodes, like 2 episodes
100%.
where like explains the gods and like the whole origin story?
it could have done
a little bit more,
some more world building. Like, I think the first few episodes were almost kind of pointless now, looking back at it. Like they could have like really what they drug out with the first few episodes, they could have like cut that down into like very short little snippets, you know. But like they drug out the first few episodes to tell the story they were trying to tell, which would have worked better for a movie, but not for a show. I think I think this used to be a movie and they changed it to a show. I'm gonna say that I think it used to be planned to be a movie.
Well, and there's still like 5 hours of like film, so like that would have been like almost 2 movies. So
well, here's the thing, like in interviews that I've seen when they're promoting this, Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke both keep referring it to as this film, this movie.
Oh.
They've said it several times.
Maybe that's just because they're not like TV show actors, so that's what they just
they just automatically say that. But like, you know, and even it was like when he was talking about getting Ethan Hawke on to the show, he refers it. Yeah, I told Ethan I was working on this movie for Marvel and all this stuff, and it's like I think this whole thing was planned to be a movie, and they couldn't slate it in, and they figured out this is going to be work better for Disney Plus, so they're going to chop it up and make it into a show. You know, maybe with the whole COVID thing happen, and they had discussions with the actors, and like this is what our new plan's going to be. Like that's what it feels like to me. I don't know if that's the case, but the way it broke down, that's the way it seems to me. You know.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, because it definitely feels that like those first 2 episodes are kind of like they try to build on Steven's character, trying to figure out why he's having these multiple personality type traits and like trying to explain all that. Like, but they could have easily done that in like, I don't know, maybe 10-15 minutes of an episode and have given us that back lore. It would have definitely played out a lot better.
It would have been cool if it was a surprise later on in the show instead of having it build up starting with that. Like it would have been cool if like later on the show, like you follow like Stephen Grant and all of a sudden then like later, or Mark, and then later in the show you find out he has this like alternate personality all along or something.
In the comics, it's that suit version of him. Like a lot of fans are mad because that's supposed to come like way later, and something that, think about it, like Dragon Ball Z or something, when Goku gets his ultimate form, like that's supposed to be like something they build up to, but they kind of just revealed it almost.
Well, the thing is too, like he's been Moon Knight for a really long time.
Yeah.
In the show, like we don't know how many years, but it's been a long time. You know what I mean? So, like maybe that's why. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense of why how they did it. I'm just saying, like,
people wanted to see it build up to that.
Yeah, which makes sense. But I kind of like the way they did it. I didn't really read the comics as much. So far, I'm enjoying the show. I am curious to where it's going, but based on what you guys are saying, it may not give me those answers. So I'm guessing maybe they'll do a season 2 or something like that.
I'm thinking they probably do a movie now, and if this was going to be originally a movie and did it as a show and see how much people enjoyed it, they might do a movie now, and just
it's a badass character. It really is.
Or they end up doing another show with the chick that was revealed kind of in that.
Yeah, what's her name? Scarlet Scarab, you said?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's like the worst superhero name I've heard in Marvel. That's getting.
I mean, is Iceman like Iceman is just too
Iceman's better.
simple words.
Iceman's better than Scarlet Scarab. Like,
but the thing with Scarlet Scarab is that character was totally different in the comic
it was
book.
a dude.
Yeah.
It was a dude, and he was kind of like a bad guy.
Yeah.
So it was like, so Marvel's like, you know what? We'll make her a chick, and it's good.
She was pretty badass, but I didn't understand how God, I don't want to spoil anything.
I know. Just don't do it.
We already have been in a way. I mean, I don't know.
Not to the point. I mean,
We don't know who. We haven't said who the Scarab Scarab is.
Right. He doesn't know, so he's like,
sorry.
He's gonna have to watch it.
All right. So yeah, everybody watch Moon Knight, and it's gonna be. I think you'll enjoy the last episode for sure. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Make sure you stay for the end credits also, because that gives a little bit of answers. But yeah, we don't know what's next for this character, but we each know what's next for the MCU. According to us, we have come up with our plans. I have given homework to each one of our awesome panelists here to come up, because we tried this last week. It didn't work out. We were trying to do a little roundtable thing, but it just wasn't working out that way. So we are each telling our next 40 Marvel movies, creating the next 10 years of the MCU, starting with, let's imagine that the first one of these movies is coming out tomorrow, right? Because there is a Marvel movie coming out tomorrow, but it doesn't necessarily have to be Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It could be something else.
So excited for Doctor Strange.
Yeah, me too. We're going to talk about that.
For that movie.
But let's get into these. Let's get into this. These movies.
Okay, I didn't put mine as categorized as 3-bit with its fucking phases. All right.
If y'all have it on a notepad or something, you can always share your screen, or if you just got it written down, that's fine. We can.
I written mine down. No.
That's fine. Well, I have 3-bits here. Y'all want to go over 3-bits first? Yeah, I mean, this guy has actually done work for Marvel before, so I feel like his should be the most prepared.
Yeah, you cheat a little bit and made TV shows out of him.
I did too. Right. I did too.
Did you really? I didn't do that. Okay. All right. So
here's 3-bits. I did some TV shows.
All right. Sure. So 3-bit broke his 40 movies down into 4 phases. None of us have seen this yet. So we're going to judge it at the end of all 3 of our 40 movies. The chat is going to get to vote on which one of us gets to decide the future of the MCU. Okay. For no reason.
This is kind of cool seeing it like right here.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So phase 1, 3-bit starting right away with Fantastic Four. He's just cutting the
looks
bullshit.
Like we have some stuff in common then.
He's just saying Fantastic Four at the gate.
You did Fantastic Four also? Fuck.
Then you got to start off.
Is it Ghost Rider second, or is it America Chavez second?
Ghost Rider will be second. So it's like the left side, then the
right side. Okay, so then Ghost Rider.
Yep.
Deadpool. Then Deadpool. I mean, what's your thinking here, 3-bit? Like going with these first.
So are we like do I explain my reasoning and stuff after we go over it, or how
about let's like I'll name the movies and we'll talk about each phase. Okay.
All
right. So how about so then you go to Deadpool 3, then immediately into X-Force, right into Deadpool 3. So like Ultra Deadpool movies back to back. Shang-Chi 2. Yep. America Chavez, Young Avengers, Black Widow 3, Spider-Man vs. Venom, Gambit TV show, and Hulk TV show. Okay, so that's phase 1. Like, where are you setting us up for this 3-bit? Like, what's going on here?
So the reason why in phase 1, I'm like slowly setting up. We know the end goal is Galactus, right? But in order for people to appreciate Galactus, there's some things we have to settle. We have to start to slowly introduce the X-Men. So you got your Gambit TV show where, he's just off on the streets being all like mon ami and throwing cards and whatnot. And people are like, wow, I really like Gambit. And then on the left side, Fantastic Four is how you're probably going to introduce Galactus. So we need to get that done right away. Fantastic Four just needs to be in there. You need to like introduce that team as soon as you can. Now, I smartly also did Deadpool and X-Force because, yes, smartly, because X-Men, you could introduce the X-Men through Deadpool and all that, and get people to appreciate the X-Men universe within the MCU. So you're not doing an X-Men movie yet, but you're slowly introducing people in the MCU to those characters. So I did that with 3 movies, with Deadpool, X-Force, and then Gambit. So it's not X-Men yet, but that comes in later phases. Okay.
I like it so far.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any reason why Shang-Chi 2 is in there? Just because he deserves a sequel already?
Yeah, he just deserves a sequel. And like I feel like you can introduce more of the multi-dimensional things that they're going for in this phase, and I needed at least one movie to have some sort of multi-dimensional thing.
Okay.
So
that makes sense. I like it. All right, so and also America Chavez can also have that same effect too, right?
Yeah, that too. Because I feel like she could lead the Young Avengers, or we could have the Avengers sort of come back, but not really, like set up that new team. And I think that could actually happen in phase 2, but I'll leave it there for phase 1.
All right, so phase 2 is Wolverine, X-Force 2, Young Avengers, Dark Avengers, Fantastic Four, King the Conqueror, Daredevil, Born Again, The Punisher, The Beyonder TV show, Gambit TV show again, season 2, I guess.
Yeah, season 2.
And Lady Thor. Okay.
Yeah.
Mighty Thor or Lady Thor?
It would be Lady Thor.
Okay.
I guess. Or in the comics, I guess she's Mighty Thor, but it's Lady. I just want people to know it's Lady Thor.
Okay. Got it. So
go ahead.
Phase 2. What are you setting up? What are you setting up here?
So here I am setting up sort of the B-listy characters like Daredevil. We're getting a little bit more
Wolverine,
from Young
B-listy,
Avengers. Yeah. I mean, he's not B-listy, but
I'm just kidding.
But Beyonder, for example, like I'm assuming outside of my phase, Secret Wars has already came out, right? Beyonder fights all the Avengers. He fights all the X-Men in the books. So I'm assuming like Marvel's probably not going to make a movie out of this guy unless they do it in Secret Wars. So I'm going to make it a TV show so people could appreciate him. And then have it so Young Avengers are now a thing. And Dark Avengers, we know they've been setting that up in like the TV shows as well. And then we finally get an X-Men character like Wolverine. Like he gets his own movie. They casted whoever it was. And then we get X-Force 2, which is like Deadpool with his team or something like that. And so it's like the other characters you're not really thinking about, but it can also help set up for the next 2 phases. Okay. So
I'm liking it so far. I mean, I have some definite differences, but I do like that you have a focus on X-Men here already.
I will say me and 3-Bit, I think, have some similar paths.
Paths? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, in phase 3, we got, I like the name of this, Cyclops, bringing the team. The X-Men, we finally get a real X-Men movie in phase 3.
Yeah, that's the dude I cut out today. Was Cyclops. I was going to give him a movie, and I was like,
cut his movie out.
Eternals 2, The Illuminati, Doctor Strange, The Oath, Blade, X-23 movie, Defenders Season 2, Shang-Chi 3, and Black Panther 3, New King. Okay.
Yes. So this is where things start
what if
going
it's new,
down.
But what if it's a new queen?
I mean, yeah, it could be. It definitely could be. It could be what's her name?
His sister.
Tech chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tech chick.
I think that's what they're doing for the second one, aren't they? They're making her like the queen or king or whatever.
I think that's rumored. So
yeah, that would make sense if they do it in the second one, but if they don't, then bam, you can look at my face. because they could technically make it that other guy too that was sitting on the throne, and I don't know where they're gonna go with the second one. But my idea for the third one is finally setting some things up. So you got Cyclops bringing in the team. That could be a TV show, honestly. But if it was, my whole thing is like Cyclops is the leader of X-Men. So I think if you want to introduce all the X-Men together, you have a movie or a show just about Cyclops sort of doing that.
Recruiting them?
Yeah, he's basically recruiting the different X-Men. So that way you can have an origin of X-Men in a way, and you can start to see these different team members. So I was like, what's the best way to do that? Probably through Cyclops's point of view. And then when you do that, you go like, okay, X-Men movie. There's finally an X-Men movie. Eternals 2 just makes sense to me because you're starting to bring in these gods like Galactus and stuff. So I feel like we might need just one more movie with them to set up for Galactus and things to come. The Illuminati also can set up the X-Men as well. So that could actually come before if it needs to. But the Illuminati has Xavier and stuff like that, so people can, if they never watched the Fox movies, they can learn about his character a little bit through Illuminati. And Doctor Strange, The Oath is actually a comic book of Doctor Strange, where he's basically just trying to live in that movie. So I thought it would be a cool adaptation if they did like a comic version of it. And then we got these other characters that people kind of forgot about, like Blade and X-23.
Mm-hmm.
All these are basically to help out the lesser known characters, but like X-Men, the slowly getting X-Men in the phases, while still building up to Galactus's event, but also X-Men. You need to sort of build up both. So that's where you get the Blade movie and Defenders. Like, I feel like Defenders could be, or Blade could be in Defenders if they really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get another Shang-Chi because I really like Shang-Chi. And then Black Panther 3. I feel like we need to see more of the Wakanda world, and I feel like Marvel would do a pretty good job at doing whatever story in there.
So I do have one. I do have one question.
Yeah.
When does Black Panther 2 happen?
This happens before my phase.
Okay.
So let's just say, like, I'm picturing like Secret Wars and all that. I'm picturing that stuff already came out.
So
Secret Wars.
Oh no, none of that's happened yet. This is like, but it's
See,
okay.
Matt was making the like we start like as of today, like
I'm picturing like Secret Wars is already out, because otherwise I would have added it to in like phase 1 or something. Like Secret War, like I'm pretending like those movies are already, because they've already been announced. So I'm not going to add movies that's already been announced in my phases. I'm just assuming those are already out.
I didn't add any
starting.
Boo.
Yeah, they're not part of my timeline, but it's okay.
Yeah, they're not part of my
maybe
phase.
like a few, but like
we'll go with 3 bits thing here. I get what you're doing here. All right, then we got the 4th phase, the culmination phase. Everything's got to lead up to this, right? So we got X-Men versus the Avengers. You got to explain that one to me. You got X-Men 2. You got Logan movie again. Silver Surfer Requiem. Ironheart, Fantastic Four, Coming of Galactus. The Amazing Spider-Man, X-Men Academy show, X-Men Galactus, the Devourer, and Annihilation.
Just ended strong with X-Men there.
Yeah, a lot of X-Men.
That's basically the X-Men phase. So I just think that we need. My phone just randomly. What the?
So I want to see how many X-Men movie does 3-bit have in his phase, because y'all gave me so much shit in his list.
Yeah, I had 7. I felt like that was too many because I gave you so much shit, so I cut Cyclops.
See, you guys, I'm telling you.
But they're like, Kevin Feige just announced that they're not doing X-Men movie, or they're not doing Avenger movies anymore for the most part. So X-Men is like the next big thing. Like if you're going to think about a huge event in Marvel, X-Men has to be involved. So in this phase, my goal was to have it so like the Avengers or Young Avengers can start to have a relationship with X-Men, and I only had one more phase to do it. So I was like, okay, well, X-Men versus Avengers, maybe something happens between the two different worlds. Maybe X-Men and is pretty separate from Avengers up until this point. Maybe their worlds collide or something. But this movie is supposed to be that sort of Civil War moment where they battle and they realize, like, wow, we have a greater threat coming, so maybe we should, not fight. So that's when we finally have X-Men 2, when the X-Men is really in the MCU. We finally are seeing them in maybe you see like Spider-Man and stuff like that. That's what X-Men 2 is all about. Like we've seen them fight, but now they're finally ingrained in the world. A Logan movie, I don't know. I ran out of stuff. I couldn't think of anything. That's pretty much why that's in there. Silver Surfer, I'm like, we need a Silver Surfer movie. If Galactus is going to be the big villain, we need Silver Surfer at some point. So what if he had his own movie? They could explain his backstory of how he's pretty much is a slave to Galactus and how he can't return to his home planet or else Galactus will kill his family. They could explain that whole storyline. My phone's like listening to me. It's really creepy. One sec. Ironheart is
Andie's mints.
The reason why the reason why I added Ironheart is because I feel like that's a good moment to put Morgan Stark, Iron Man's daughter, back into have some sort of Iron Man back in the world. And I thought that would be kind of a good way to do it. So that way when they all fight Galactus, she could be there. We could have some sort of Iron Man person there. Fantastic Four, that's when Galactus finally shows up. He's like, hello everyone, and they're all trying to fight him and they lose. The Amazing Spider-Man, we finally are seeing Spider-Man sort of become who he is in the comics, like finally. You had two movies or something where he was mostly in Tony Stark's world, and we only had one movie where he was really himself. So we need a movie where where it's not that. So that would be kind of cool. And then we have an X-Men Academy TV show where we can see the X-Men, I don't know, just in a TV show. And then that's when we have our Endgame level event with X-Men, Galactus the Conqueror. Galactus is finally here. He's been teased throughout the other phases, but now he is here. And then that's probably gonna lead into other phases in the future. But basically, he is there. He's devouring everybody. He's being all Galactus-y, and they all are fighting. It's a 3-hour movie, and it's called X-Men Galactus the Devourer, but really it's everybody. Everybody's there. And Annihilation is just it's I forgot his name, but he has that golden helmet and he's really powerful, and Nova or whatever, and he needs a freaking story somewhere. So that is my phases for Marvel. I think I did decent. I could have ended it a little bit better, because I'm sure all of us are trying to find a way to lead to Galactus, but
no,
you only got 40 movies. You got much to do.
I would be happy watching that. I'll say that. If that's what we were presented with, I'd be very happy. You know what I mean? So I can't really knock it, but I don't know if it's going to be the best.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm really liking mine, but I don't know if that's just biased because I made it.
Yeah. So,
yeah, now I'm curious about you guys.
Yeah, so who's next? Who wants to go next?
I'll go next, I guess.
Yeah, because I did not set mine up like 3-Bit did at all. So
you guys
that's
are thinking
mine was you know what? You're presenting the phase however you see fit. So
I guess I could just
you want to if you want to share your screen, that's fine. You can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a notepad.
Can you make it bigger screen?
Like that, but
Hey.
it's so white, so I don't know if you. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So we're starting off with Fantastic Four because we gotta build that team up.
So we both start with Fantastic Four.
Yeah. And then we got X-Men because we gotta also build that team up. And I'm throwing in my boy Korg because it's just a funny dude. I want take it like a different route, make it like a comedy movie instead of like an action movie. You mean try to make it bigger now? Since
we can't see the font on it. If you can make the font bigger.
Oh, I don't know if you can do that.
Yeah, right click. Or hit edit on the top.
I don't think you can do that in Notepad.
Okay. Oh well, it doesn't matter.
Oh wait, hold on.
Or maybe it's in view. It may be in view. Oh wait, there we go.
It's in format. You highlight it, you go to format, you go to font, and then there's size.
There we go. All right, let's bring that up. Okay.
So it's Korg, a comedy movie. And then I just want Iron Man back, so I just named it Iron Man is Back, baby. That's what we're getting, Iron Man back.
Okay. Iron Man is back, baby. So Korg, like that's the Guardian, that's the Thor.
Rock dude that's like,
yeah, okay.
Hey, I'm Korg.
Yeah, okay.
I'm made of stone.
This is like a standalone Korg movie.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm digging this so far.
And then we got Spider-Gwen, because I just really like that Spider-Man character. It's like White Spider-Man. It's it's Gwen Stacy, but it's Spider-Man versus Rhino. And this, starting from Fantastic Four, this is where we're building the whole, like, all 4 phases up. And then we get Doom versus Loki. Doom's going to find out that Loki messed with the timeline and make, like, some kind of machine, and they're going to fight each other, Dr. Doom and Loki.
Mm-hmm.
And then, since we're building the X-Men team, we got to start introducing the X-Men. So we got Psylocke.
And you already have Wolverine there, number 5 as well. So
oh yeah, I guess I skipped over that one.
Yeah, so you got Wolverine and Psylocke individual movies. So that's 2 X-Men movies, 3 X-Men movies already in the first phase.
That's the first phase. They're going to start slowing down.
Okay.
We got to build that team though.
Yeah.
And then we're getting a Dracula movie. Not like it's Dracula like the vampire, but it's the Marvel Dracula, so it's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're getting Nova, the guy that 3-Bit was trying to think of.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the name. Nova.
Yeah, he's going to be one of the first like space characters we get in. And then we have Blade. Since we have Dr. Doom versus Loki, his machine that he invented to like try to defeat Loki introduced all the monsters, like the vampires, the werewolves, and all those kind of creatures. That's where we're getting Dracula and stuff. So we need Blade to start killing those vampires. So we're getting Blade to come in here. Okay. And that's phase 2 starting as a Blade. Then we got Ghost Rider, because we got all those monsters coming in. We got to get someone to send them back to hell. So we got Ghost Rider versus Blackheart. Blackheart is Mephisto's like son. He's kind of like a demon creature thing.
Right on.
We still got all these monsters, but we got to get Punisher in here to also kill him. But we got to have a Punisher origin story. So we got to see either him like fight his family, like fight the people that kill his family or something. So we're introducing Punisher in the movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be John Barenthal?
Sure, why not?
Okay, right on.
Yeah, heck yeah, he's good.
We got to get more X-Men in here, so we got to bring in my boy Colossus and Juggernaut.
I'll count that as another X-Men movie.
Yeah, I said it. We got to bring in more X-Men.
Okay.
And then I want an origin story of the symbiotes. So this is going to be like thousands of years ago. So we got Noel. He's the guy that invented all the symbiotes. So we're going to get an origin movie of him, of why he made the symbiotes.
Oh, this is like
then we got another
shit here. Okay.
Yeah. And then we got Morbius. We got another monster movie in here. He's like another vampire creature.
Not the one we just got, though. A new one?
No, this is MCU Morbius.
Okay, that's good.
And then I think I got 2 more X-Men. This is another one, Rogue. I feel like she was kind of shit on in the Fox movies. So we're going to
think about Rogue. Dang.
So we're going to get a good Rogue movie, introduction to her.
Yeah. One of the most powerful X-Men, by the way.
Yeah. And then we got Guardians 3. I just really like Guardians of the Galaxy, so we're getting a third movie. That's kind of where I'm following the already announced MCU stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got what I'm calling the monster team, which is Blade, Ghost Rider, and Punisher. Those are going to be the guys that fight all the monsters. And they're going to fight in the Phase 2 finale movie. They're going to fight Dracula, Morbius, and Mephisto as the Phase 2 finale.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. This is going good so far. Yeah, I like it.
And then Phase 3, we got... I got to scroll down. Where's my mouse? Phase 3, we got Gambit.
Yes. Give it to me, baby.
And then we got a shitty Planet Hulk revision in the MCU, so we're doing official Planet Hulk in Phase 3.
Okay.
I would love to see a Planet Hulk.
And then we got to get another Fantastic Four movie. I don't know who they're fighting. I just named it Fantastic Four, More Fantastic.
Okay. Right on.
And then, again, we're getting Doctor Strange, Dumarmu?
Whatever, yeah. Damama?
Yeah, rematch, because
Mama?
that was the shittiest ending to a really powerful villain in the MCU. I want an actual fight between them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to go back in time a little bit and just get a Thanos origin movie. Like, why is Thanos the way he is?
I thought about that too, man. I didn't do it, but I thought about that. Okay. Cool.
And then it's going to end with the teaser from the first Avengers movie.
Okay.
That's how it's going to end.
Cool.
Yeah. And then
Very
I just really like Korg and Deadpool. So Korg and Deadpool are going to team up in some kind of movie. So
right on. Just Deadpool and Korg. This
Like
is
a cop
your
movie.
phase. This is your saga.
yeah, I think this is the last X-Men movie. Which the X-Men, the team they've put together, is going to fight MODOK.
Okay.
He's
That
like
big
controls a
head
bunch
dude?
of the big hair dude in the chair that
Looks
floats.
like Krang.
Yeah. And then we get the Peter Parker Spider-Man and Gwen Spider, and they're going to fight a symbiote, and it's going to be Carnage, not the Carnage we got in the Sony pictures, but an MCU Carnage.
Okay, I like it.
And then, since we're building up to a big event, we got to start getting these spacey characters in here. So we're getting
Paul
Sentry.
made Sentry.
Yeah, we're getting Sentry. He's kind of like a Superman kind of character. He's really powerful. He's like really fast. He's like super strong. It's kind of like Superman. Just kind of picture that.
He was supposed to be in Civil War, actually.
Oh,
He's in the Civil War books. Yeah.
Yeah, he was invented by like the super serum that created Captain America, but it was like super strong super serum. So he's like,
It's pretty much Superman.
yeah,
Crazy.
And then we have Doctor Doom versus Silver Surfer and the Monster Team. But but wait, because like Doctor Doom is going to fight Silver Surfer, but Silver Surfer has to get to Doctor Doom, so the Monster Team's got to clear the path of all the vampires that Doctor Doom has like kind of got as his army over the past few years. And when they get there and defeat him, Doctor Doom is going to send out an alert, or they think that's to the Galactus, but it's not Doctor Doom sending it out. It's really the Beholder that sent the alert to Galactus, saying shit's getting ready to go down.
Okay. So Beyonder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heck yeah, Beyonder. Let's go.
This is where we're getting Phase 4. And this is where it's coming to an end. We got a small movie, Spider-Man Gwen Stacy. Oh wait, I guess I have 2 of those. Well, screw it. Why not rematch?
Love it. Part 2. Part 2.
Part 2. And then we got Moon Knight versus Cthulhu. Cthulhu's kind of like a, I don't know what the fuck he is. He's like a big like squid monster that like eats planets or some shit.
Right on.
And then we got Namor. He's kind of like an Aquaman.
Oh, I didn't think about Namor. Dang.
Yeah.
I wish I stole that.
And since we're getting these powerful characters for the finale, we got to get some strong people in here. So we're getting Adam Warlock. We got to get an Adam Warlock movie. And then we get Space Ghost Rider versus a symbiote. I don't know what symbiote, but we're getting a symbiote. Cosmic Ghost Rider is going to fight a symbiote in outer space somewhere. Because Ghost Rider's got to get powerful. Then we get Guardians 4. Just another Guardians movie because I like those characters. And then we get Quasar. He's another powerful space character, kind of like a Captain Marvel or something like that. He's got like, he shoots like energy out of his hands and shit.
Okay.
And then we get 2 Galactus movies because they got to, like, they're fighting Galactus. They're building the team to fight Galactus, but they like, I guess, lose or something. And then they have another battle with Galactus in episode 9 or movie 9 for the Phase 4. And then they realized once they defeat Galactus, he wasn't the big bad guy. It was the Beyonder for movie 10. So now they got to all team up again and fight Beyonder.
Ooh.
Ah,
Okay, so
And
all
then
roads
41, we got
lead-
Strongman.
Okay, it's just a little extra strongman to set up the new X-Men. Right on. Nice. Hey, that's pretty good. I'll have to say I'm kind of torn between that one and 3-Bits right now. I like how you just went with your heart on yours a little bit. Like 3-Bit was trying to play a little safe at times, but also was very like thinking about the audience. Jasper's like, fuck it, I want what I want. Nobody else matters. And it was like, it sounds still badass equally. So I'm kind of down for that. Now I'm wondering what Psycho has in store for us. And I think he just has like a list of 40 movies he's going to spit out.
I do.
That's fine. Like I'm all for it.
So we start off with my phase, Spider-Man Unlimited, with the introduction of Spider-Woman.
Okay.
And then we go into Daredevil, where they introduce Luke Cage.
Mm-hmm.
That's the next movie. So then the next is Captain America, New Avenger, kind of like the play on the first Avenger, but New Avenger, which introduces Ronan and Wolverine. And then movie 4 is Avengers Fractured.
Okay.
Where everybody's kind of
fighting again, not getting along.
That kind of starting to break off. And then TV series Shield. And they introduce Young Avengers, and Nick Fury is missing in this series. And then X-Men. Introduce X-Men.
I guess I could be in the first phase.
Yeah, this is first phase.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to start off with X-Men in the first phase, where the Scarlet Witch is introduced in this movie. And then TV series Cyclops, and then Storm, and then Wolverine movie. He gets his own standalone because
he's Wolverine.
Got to tell his story. Right? Yeah,
exactly. So that's 2 X-Men movies so far, right?
Yes, and then the closeout phase 1 is Fantastic Four, where they introduce Dr. Doom.
Okay, I'm liking it. That's pretty good so far, man. How many movies was that in phase 1?
Let's see, 7 movies.
Okay, so you're following kind of what I did. All right, what's next?
So next is New Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
So start off, and then Miss Marvel, since she's a new character with the New Avengers.
Yeah, about her.
And then the TV show Ronin and Logan, and they take place out in Japan, where they're run amok.
That'd be pretty badass, right? Actually.
Frank Miller's story. Nice.
Yes, and Magneto's reign, and they start touching on the House of M storyline. So it's starting to set things up. And then that's a TV show too, by the way.
Okay.
So that's going to be a 10 episode hour long TV series, because that's how I run Marvel. All right, I don't give these 6 episode 45-minute long 30-minute long shows. So.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch to follow that. Now she's insane. Since we had X-Men introduced, Xavier's trying to help her quiet her mind, and she's starting to crack. So we got that, and then Doctor Strange is introduced with this standalone movie to kind of help with the multiverse per se. Things are getting a little hairy, and then the team, then it's Civil War again. We get another Civil War. Now everything is all fractured now, and then Avengers Underground.
Okay.
And we have.
So we finally get So what's in Underground? Is it like the Young Avengers, or is
Underground
coming back?
They definitely. Let's see. The aftermath of what happened with Civil War and everything. So Ronin, and
like they're in hiding and shit.
yes, and they are pretty much not coming out because the whole Civil War. Because you got Thunderbolt Ross is looking for them, and you got who else? And Hammer is looking for them, but that's later.
Okay,
We won't talk about Hammer. And then that finishes the movies, and then we get Iron Man Iron Fist TV show because fucking what we got was horrible, and Defenders TV show.
I tried to bring back Defenders too because I think Defenders is actually really important, and you want to describe like your side characters.
Oh, there's a lot of street level people too. You know what I mean? Like
street level characters, like Moon Knight.
Because you set up, with that you got Iron Fist, you got Punisher, Daredevil, and all that. So you get the whole thing going, and then season 3 you start up with the Punisher.
Okay.
Daredevil, Hell's Kitchen. That's where he goes. Then we got a Young Avengers TV show.
Makes sense.
Nice. Yep.
And the Avengers Secret Invasion movie. Then we got an Amazing Spider-Man. And then Hammer TV show. Because at least with Hammer, they set up. Let's see what. Because Hammer introduced something that happens with Secret Invasion. So it kind of has that starting point where who's Thunderbolt Ross is in the head of with Norman Oswald. So that's how you get the Spider-Man and all that tie-ins. And they get a Red Hulk TV show because who doesn't love Red Hulk?
Right on.
Yeah. So I guess they can do a TV show.
Psycho's doing great so far. This is pretty good. It's impressive.
And Wolverine again, another Wolverine movie, just standalone. I don't know, just because I want another Wolverine movie. I like Wolverine. And then the last movie is X-Men Aftermath. So we get kind of tie up of that third phase, and then the last bit is where I kind of rushed.
Okay. So well, let's see how you did.
Yeah. So phase 4, we're starting right off the bat with Avengers: Dark Reign. Then got a Defenders series season 2, Punisher movie. Then we're gonna go with Dark Avengers.
Yep.
And because we set that up, and Captain Marvel movie and Miss Marvel movie because I think that is both of them are because I think Miss Marvel and I think Miss Marvel is a Dark Avenger, and I believe so is Captain Marvel. I think was it Captain Marvel? I don't know. Yeah, I think it was both those. They're part of Dark Avengers, but under a different pseudonym. Do I have that? Yeah, here we go. So Moonstone is Miss Marvel, and Novar is Captain Marvel. So they're part of Dark Avengers. So they're like playing that alter ego type. Then we do a Spider-Man versus Venom, and then a Venom standalone.
That's what I did.
Yeah, and then a Venom standalone movie. Then the Avengers Assembled, and then a Doomsday and a Final Doom for the end of that setting up Dr. Doom as the main character that they all have to fight.
Sweet.
So you're setting up Dr. Doom being the big baddie.
Yeah, because then that could.
My God, Dr. Doom had 4 fucking movies.
Yeah.
Hey, I like it, man. So that's where you're ending it off there for the next 4 things.
Yeah, we're climaxed at Dr. Doom.
Okay. I'm impressed. That sounds like a very awesome pathway.
And a lot of people weren't, and they're, with the Dark Avengers and other characters that I didn't really touch on, set up the next set of phases,
right?
For the whatever, if they finish the saga or they want to do a couple more phases,
right?
So,
well, so far so good. I think 3 excellent timelines here, but we got one left, and I don't know. I'm gonna get some shit. Okay, I'm gonna get some shit, but it's all in fun.
Half of them are X-Men movies.
I just picture like X-Men.
Phase 1 is X-Men.
Jasper got to do
X-Men
almost
1, X-Men
any
2.
little weird ass shit that he wanted to do that was like off the wall. Okay, so I just want y'all to keep that in mind. All right, so here we go. This is just
Like a whole movie.
Where's my list? Okay. All right, hold on. There we go. Okay. All right, we're starting. I got 5 phases here, 8 movies each, with a little bit of extra on the last phase. Okay? I just couldn't leave it at that. Right, so here we're going. Now, phase 1, the whole idea behind phase 1 for me is I got to correct some shit. I got to fix some stuff that happened. Okay? I also have to make sure that we set things up for the future. So I'm laying the groundwork. Okay? First off, mutants. We have to establish that mutants fucking exist. Okay? So, the first movie is going to be setting just the origin and aspects that mutants exist in another universe that happened because of the Wanda blast. And also the events from Doctor Strange and all that shit, and also Loki and all that stuff ties into, now we expose the fact that there's another universe in the, let's say in the 80s, this is, going back, that mutants exist, okay, in another universe, okay? So you're going to have some, like, old school mutants in this movie, right? Like, old school mutants in here, and you're going to start to have some of this kind of political storyline develop and all this stuff between humans and mutants and all this kind of stuff, right? It's setting the stage. Mutants exist. Okay. Next up, Hulk's retraction, okay? Hulk realizes he fucked up and he wants to be a badass again, and he reverses whatever fucking shit he did to make himself this like science Hulk, and he goes back to being 2-person Hulk, right? So we set the stage back for Hulk to now have a big role going forward, and can be in any of these movies. He can also be in his own movies and all that kind of stuff. And we get Hulk. No more science Hulk, Professor Hulk or whatever, showing up now. So Hulk's retraction. Okay. Now we have Doctor Strange. Now at the third movie here is going to be Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. It's going to happen. Okay. I still want that movie to exist. I can't cease it to exist from history. All 3 of you guys have canceled this movie. Except for, I guess, for 3-Bit, because he's setting his up for like 10 years in the future. So
yeah,
I think this movie is too important for the worlds to colliding, all the worlds to collide in some way. Okay. Next up, again, this phase is about fixing shit. So we have Black Widow, 2 Souls. Okay. It's about going back and figuring out a way to bring back Black Widow, Natasha, from the Soul Stone. Okay, those 2 souls. One soul obviously being Yelena and Hawkeye teaming up, trying to figure out, is there any way they can bring back, using all the resources of things that happened to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and all this other crazy stuff happening, to bring back Natasha. Okay, so we get the return of Natasha. Now that after this movie, there will be 2 Black Widows. Okay, next, Gambit. Bang, right away. First standalone mutant movie. Okay, it's got to be Gambit. I love Gambit. It's my favorite Marvel X-Men character, so that's just going to be what happens. Next, we follow up what happened at the end of Eternals with Curse of the Blade. Now, this title has 2 meanings, because it's the Curse of the Ebony Blade that was shown at the end of Eternals in the end credit scene, and it's going to showcase Blade and also Black Knight in their start to uncover some of the supernatural shit that's going on. You got vampire killing and all this stuff, and then a Black Knight becoming who he needs to be in this movie. Okay. Then you also have New Asgard. This is going to be setting up the new Thor, not this shit that we saw in this trailers and stuff where like he's having like a midlife crisis and like he doesn't know what the hell's going on. I'm talking about like setting the groundwork for what Thor is going to be going forward on New Asgard, showcase some events that are happening on Earth. And New Asgard, bring back Natalie Portman into that as well. That's not how you're doing it with Thor and Love and Thunder. I want to see some kind of like conflict on Earth and them rise on Earth to save Earth from some heroes and really make that their home, right? So that's New Asgard. Next is Scarlet Witch reality. Okay, so now Scarlet Witch is going to get lost and get confused about what the fuck's going on after
like
the
that
events.
Title. It could be Witch reality.
Exactly, it's a play on words. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness has made, like Psycho said, she's like split right now. She's like going insane or something. She doesn't know what's going on. She's causing chaos everywhere because she doesn't know what's what, right? So you got this big thing where she is like a villain and a hero all together. Which reality? Is it 2 Wandas out there? Is it 1? We don't know. We're gonna find out in this movie. Okay, so that's the end of phase 1. Scarlet Witch is the enemy and also hero.
So only 2 X-Men movies.
Mutants sort of is kind of like is a origins of X-Men, but not X-Men yet. Okay, it's setting that stage, but we do have Gambit and we and yeah, that's it for we have Gambit is like the actual character. So that's just phase 1. Okay, phase 2, we have the Wanderer. Okay, the Wanderer is going to follow the backstory and the origins of Wolverine, told in a way where he is trying to discover who he is, wandering the wilderness and going from place to place, trying to discover. And this is where he's going to run into Professor X and find the Academy and run into some of the X-Men that are already in place, kind of following similar to the timelines of the original X-Men movie when they did it right in the first X-Men movie, but doing it even better here. We're going to follow the Wanderer. It's going to be the story of Logan, younger Wolverine Logan, and his path. You're going to have Sabretooth. There's going to be an enemy in this as well. Okay, next up, Iron Man 4. You guys right. Iron Man needs to come back. So again, righting the wrongs, however you got to fucking make it happen. You know, if it's a different Iron Man or whatever, it's got to be a fucking Iron Man here. I don't care who it is. Fucking get Tom Cruise to fill that suit. I don't fucking care. All right, so Captain America's First Flight. You guys all forgot about fucking Sam Wilson. What the hell's going on with him? Like, Captain America's got to have some kind of storyline here. So Sam Wilson.
Yeah, I have 2 Captain America movies.
No, it doesn't count. All right, so we got Captain America's First Flight. Yeah, Sam Wilson having to rise above and be Captain America big time on a big stage in front of the world and really fulfill his true mantle now of Captain America. Then you got Guardians 3, because as Jasper said, we need to have another Guardians movie. And it's also important to start setting up the stage for all this galactic shit, right? Yeah. So you got to have this space shit going on. You got to have some interdimensional stuff. You know, you got to have maybe Adam Warlock makes an appearance or whatnot. Then you have the X-Men. The X-Men finally, after setting the stage from the Wanderer, you have the X-Men movie. So that at this point, you've had a Gambit movie. You've had a Logan movie. You had Mutants. Now we get actual X-Men, where you actually confirm the existence now of this team that is going to fight against some of this other shit that's going out there. Next is Spider-Man Web of Lies. I don't 100% know who's lying about what, but it just sounded pretty badass that somebody's betraying Spider-Man out there. Maybe it's a symbiote pretending to be his friend.
Isn't that a game?
Is it? I don't know.
I think it is.
I almost
think
chose
that's the title of a game.
I almost chose Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, but I think that's the name of a game too. So, Web of Lies, somebody's out there. There's a symbiote going on. You know, there's all this stuff. He discovers Miles Morales in this as well. And Miles Morales is shown in this, but he's not purely a Spider-Man. He's following along in the story at this point. Next, we get the Dark
Web
Avengers.
of Shadows.
Okay, yeah, this is Web of Lies. So he's being betrayed by somebody he thought he was close to. Okay, Dark Avengers is going to follow Evil Elaine and her new ragtag team of dumbass Avengers who are going to try and start and fight the real Avengers. This is going to be a culmination where you have, you know, now we've had the Guardians, we've had Iron Man, we've had Spider-Man, right? So now we got some kind of team that can rise up to fight against the Dark Avengers. Okay. Whew. All right, we're only phase 2.
Nice. It's good so far.
Phase 3, guys. Captain Marvel, where is she at? She's got to come back, right? She made her last appearance when she came at the end of Phase 2 to help fight the Dark Avengers. Now she's back full force with Captain Marvel 2, where you're gonna introduce the Skrulls more. You're gonna follow that storyline. You're gonna what's her name, Proton or Photon or I forget her name, Monica Rambeau. Then, but this Phase 3 is the phase of sequels. Okay, so we got to have Shang-Chi 2. We got to move on from that storyline, see where that goes. You know, last we saw, you know, he did make appearance in the Dark Avengers to help with the Avengers there, but he's not officially an Avenger yet, right? Eternals 2, right? Eternals 2 is going to start bringing in more of the Galactus storyline because we have to get more into what's going on with the Celestials. So they are going to be traveling to figure out how to take out the Celestials and figure out what's going on because they are being hunted now. Right? They're being hunted, and this is a big intergalactic type conflict with the Celestials and Eternals 2. Then we have X-Men 2 because why not? X-Men need to establish themselves as a huge fucking franchise and movie. And you got more X-Men introduced in this one than the first one. So maybe in the first one you had like 4. Now this time maybe you like grow to 6. You introduce like 2 new characters into this. You know, maybe you introduce like younger X-Men like Jubilee and like Iceman into this one as well, right? We're just going full X-Men here. All right, next, Gambit and Rogue, because guess what? You need to have a fucking Gambit and Rogue story that's just all to themselves. It's going to be a love story.
I agree.
It's going to be a love-hate relationship going on. It's going to follow the events of X-Men 2 because there's going to be a fallout between them that's going to create some kind of conflict. Somebody is basically like using Rogue and like betraying her without her knowing and using her abilities to gain other people's powers, to try and steal other people's powers from them, and Gambit's onto it. Nobody else is, so he's trying to save her.
Gambit is the light.
Yes, and then we have the introduction of the Silver Surfer, which follows up from the storyline after Eternals 2 when the Celestials were talked about more. Now you have the Silver Surfer coming in, right? Sent from a Celestial to potentially destroy Earth. You got a big conflict going on there between different heroes from different. You got some X-Men. You know, you got different people here, you know, all fighting against Silver Surfer. He returns after he was beaten, right? Then we have Captains, okay? This is going to be a team-up movie between Captain Marvel and Captain America, but for some kind of, like, Civil War type conflict situation on Earth that happened after the events of Silver Surfer, okay? Now we have the new Avengers. This is where the new team of Avengers, all these younger ones that have been shown, really get up there and have made a name for themselves. Now you have Shang-Chi, you know, maybe you have America Chavez, who knows how big she's going to be. You have some of these other people, right, are all going to be the new Avengers and reestablish what we know of as the Avengers as the new team, right? So not the mainline ones, but the newer ones. Okay, Phase 4, getting big time here now, guys. I mean, we're already onto our third X-Men titled movie, X-Men 3. And it's going to kick off the phase, followed by Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four at the end, or later.
Yeah, so X-Men 3 is going to, because of all the events that have happened with the Silver Surfer earlier, right? That's going to set up X-Men 3. And then following that, it's going to set up Fantastic Four because X-Men this movie is going to be about them trying to figure out, like, this is maybe where you introduce Doctor Doom and stuff like this. And you're also trying to figure out how are they going to handle this otherworldly threat. You know, this otherworldly threat. And this is where the Eternals are going to get mixed in a little bit and stuff like that. And then Fantastic Four is going to be where they are showcased. Again, entity that's from another universe in this storyline where we didn't know about them yet because Kang the Conqueror, that whole timeline thing is all fucked up. So somewhere there's a Fantastic Four. They feel like they realize what's going on with the universes being just potentially destroyed by the Celestials and the galaxies and stuff. So they make their appearance known in this movie and it's going to be alluded to at the end of the X-Men 3. Okay, now we got Strange New World. This is where every fucking thing comes together.
That's a Star Trek show coming out in 3 days.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is like Doctor Strange, right? This is a Doctor Strange movie. It's called Strange New World. This is where, like, the convergence happens, right? So, like, he understands, like, the galactic threat. He understands all this stuff, and he's trying to pull some shit to, like, figure out who all is available to help fight this thing because they feel something's coming, right? Imagine an Iron Man having that vision before. This is where he knows what's going on and he's got to figure it out. So he creates this convergence where he before saw it as a threat of the multiverse. Now he sees it as an asset because all these other heroes and all the other universes is the only hope to be able to fight the threat that they have. So he has to unify them all. And this is where you have the X-Men team now cross over and pass with the MCU as we know it. And now we have, bam, no longer separate, right? Then we have Blade. Okay? The Strange New World, when he brought in all this other shit, it also brought in all these monsters again, right? So you have...
Oh, where'd you get that idea?
Hey. We didn't talk before I made this list. then we have Blade, because now that threat with him and Black Knight, that was a smaller scale. Now it's a lot bigger scale. And also they are now all in the same timeline. All this shit's going on. And they need Blade, and he's going to get a standalone movie. Then we're introducing more big-time characters here. So then, as Adam Warlock was alluded to before in one of the one of the Guardians movies, now he's got his own standalone movie. Then you have Jean. I was thinking of Scott and Jean or Jean and Scott, but it was like, fuck that. Cyclops doesn't deserve to be in the title. It's just going to be called Jean because you have to set the stage for what's to come.
I'm like, it makes sense to do it more from his perspective. But I could also see it from her perspective as well.
I think this is going to be like an origin story type movie of Jean and also following through at where she is now and setting up why she's going to be so important to the events that are going to come. Okay. Then we have Hulk and Ant-Man. I don't know why that said Time's Up. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, that's what it is. It's Time's Up. Okay. Hulk and Ant-Man. Time's Up. So they go in the quantum realm and shit because something happens. They need to reverse some time shit. And I really thought it'd be funny to have them as a duo in a movie because they were really funny in in the Avengers movie when they were trying to like go back in time and like made them into a baby and all that kind of shit. You remember that? So I want a movie with them two together, and it's gonna be like a fun like Ant-Man and then Hulk, whole thing where they're going through the quantum realm and shit. Then we have the big supernatural team up movie. Gods and Monsters. It's going to end this phase. So Gods and Monsters is going to be with all the Egyptian god shit. You got like Thor and all the Greek god stuff. And then also you have like Blade and like Black Knight and all that stuff all converging, right? Maybe Punisher makes his appearance here as well, right? Be pretty badass. Gods and Monsters. That's the name of the movie that's going to culminate this phase. And then we get into the last phase. Because of the events of Gods and Monsters, now Ghost Rider appears. Ghost Rider is huge. He is going to take out all these other fucking people that the other people couldn't get. He was the secret hero that appeared at the end of Gods and Monsters. Now he gets his own standalone movie. Now he has Spider-Man: The Return Home, where Spider-Man finally figures out, like, he's been in some of these other little movies and cameos and shit, but he's back. He's back to being himself. He's no longer deceived. Miles Morales also rises to the occasion and makes a huger appearance in this movie. And now there's two Spider-Men going in the streets. Okay. Then we have the Phoenix Rises. Now, following from the events of Jean, now we have the establishment of her path to become the Phoenix, which is going to happen at the end of this movie. The long culmination. This is a long pathway to get to the Phoenix. Okay.
I was thinking about doing that, but I'm like, dang.
Yeah, I just didn't want to redo that for like the third time.
Sorry, not Greek god. Sorry, whatever. What is Thor's Norse god?
Norse.
Sorry. Yes, the Norse mythology. Okay, so then we have Silver Surfer rides again. Now Silver Surfer, after realizing what's all going down, he's on the good side, right? He's like, oh shit, I need to like go back to Earth, and I'm going to warn them. This is like a warning trip, okay? And he's gonna have to fight against some shit out there, and maybe he gets some help from the Guardians and the Eternals to make it back to Earth to warn Doctor Strange and the other people about what's going on. Okay, this is also where you lead up into Black Panther and the Ancestral Plane. After all this gods and shit things, we learned about the Ancestral Plane. Black Panther, we're going to have a full-on Black Panther movie that's going to take place mostly in the Ancestral Plane, where they're going to be fighting against some of these aspects as well. And we're going to see cameos from the original Black Panther and also the new Black Panther and maybe some former Black Panthers all in this fighting together. I think it would be sick.
Ooh, that would be Very sick.
Then you got Guardians 4 again, you know, following up from the events again. You got this huge battle. You know, they're trying to gather. This is when Guardians 4 is about gathering forces out there in space. You know, any allies they can find for what they know is to come. Shang-Chi 3 is about going to different dimensions that they can access and also recruiting for the fight that's yet to come. Then we have Secret Wars 1, Secret Wars 2.
And you had to split that up.
There's got to be 3 of those movies. Then
Part
we got
1 and Part 2.
Then I just threw this in there: X-Men 4, Return of Gambit. I don't know where he was, but I just had like, there's got to be. I feel like there's got to be these movies are going to be huge, right? I mean, these are going to be fucking like 3-hour long, epic movies with like everything converging, like huge battles and Galactus coming and all these like minions sent by Galactus. You got Doctor Doom, you got Scarlet Witch, who knows what she's doing, you know, all this shit, man. Maybe Mephisto, all the stuff that's culminated from all the enemies and all these other movies are coming out in full force in Secret Wars 1 and 2. And then you got X-Men 4, Return of Gambit. I just made that stupid name. But anyway, and X-Men, they are really setting the stage. And this is where the Phoenix really actually rises, right? And, you know, this is where she turns from like potentially bad Phoenix to good Phoenix in this movie, right? And that's setting the stage from Secret Wars 3, the final culmination, the battle with Galactus, and with using Jean Grey and her fullest potential and all the other X-Men and all the other heroes out there and defeating Galactus at the end. Okay. That's the next 10 years of the MCU.
Very good.
He put thought into each movie.
I did.
Yeah, you really put some thought into it.
I didn't.
I mean,
I would have if I had more time. Set it out. Yeah.
No, I think
I waited less.
I'm impressed with everybody. Everybody did some work on this. You know, I mean,
no, yeah, I could have definitely gone in depth of why each movie was picked, and put it in there. But I was like, fuck, I got 3 hours.
I think there was pros and cons to each and every one. I think, Jean, I think that would be a pretty good movie. Someone said Magneto as like a solo movie. I think that would be.
I tried to put some more villains like as their own movies instead of just having all.
That would have been a good thing to put in my face.
That's one thing that we don't really get is villain movies.
They don't sell
I think
as well,
Marvel's kind of,
you know, usually. I don't know why.
Magneto, though, that's why I picked it.
Magneto would be a good TV show, but I didn't have that at all, like with my phases. But I think each one of you had pretty good.
I feel like me and 3-Bit kind of went more like creative with our list and like didn't necessarily follow like the path that's already set up, whereas Mav like followed the path that's already set up, but like added to it. And then Psycho was just like
I just went left.
Yeah, name every comic.
We are going with this fucking just bring characters into the universe, have a Doctor Doom end, and set stuff up for the next set of phases.
Yeah. My whole goal in this was to establish, like, because there's a lot of I feel like Marvel keeps introducing new characters all the fucking time, and it's not really like focusing on like individual things as much anymore. Like in the first saga, we had the Avengers, right? There was like a few characters, and it evolved. Eventually, they added more, right? But like in this one, I feel like there's just so much new shit. There's Eternals, there's Shang-Chi, there's fucking, you know, Moon Knight. Now we got She-Hulk coming. You know, it's like I kind of wanted them to focus going forward on like individual groups, you know. So my idea was trying to set the stage for like the Avengers group, the traditional Avengers group, and also having the Supernatural group, and also having the X-Men group, and each giving them their own space, and then culminating at the end, right? That was. I think
you did a good job at putting the side characters better than the Ghost Rider and setting him up. I think your setup for that was better than mine. Because I don't know, I just like the way you set that up. How Ghost Rider comes at the end, and then he gets his own movie, and because of what happens in the events, they bring monsters in the world. I think Jasper sort of did that too, but I wasn't really thinking about it like that. I was just thinking about like I did give Ghost Rider his movie in the very beginning of the phase.
Which that would
but
I
I just
as well,
assumed,
though. You know what I mean? Like, there's no wrong answers
like the
here.
reason,
Almost, you know. I mean,
yeah, it's interesting. But I'm sure like the people at the summit, the the creators are doing something like this.
I feel like we all do this, and then we just like maybe we take some of my ideas and cut out some of Mav's X-Men movies and like replace it with my movies.
so just less Gambit movies.
Yeah,
I put a Gambit movie in there because I think he's. I think I did.
I just didn't put 3 Gambit movies.
Yeah, not 3 Gambit movies. I put 1 Gambit movie just because I think if you were to introduce any X-Men character into the Marvel universe, it makes sense to do it with like a character like Gambit rather than Wolverine, where he's a big character, everyone knows who he is. Gambit can sort of like sneak in there, introduce the X-Men world, and then people could appreciate how cool.
And Gambit was almost kind of like an outsider of the X-Men. Like he teamed up with them and he was part of the X-Men, but like he didn't really necessarily want to be like a lot, so like he was kind of like more of a loner, like Gambit to me was always a loner that just really didn't want anything to do with anybody, but he was a reluctant helper, and I feel like he could be that's kind of like the observer. You're following him and he's like, fuck this shit, like whatever,
which works perfect for like a TV show where, if let's just pretend the audience doesn't know much about the X-Men, then if you take it from his point of view where he's also learning about the X-Men,
I feel like the standalone X-Men like specific characters would work better as a TV show, like Gambit and Rogue and stuff. But we were doing all movies, so I was just like, I guess they get their own fucking movie.
Right on.
I did some TV shows and some movies.
I didn't do any TV shows. That's a whole other 40 things. If you really think about it, I mean, if you really think about it, right? We got 10 years, we got 4 movies a year, right? Roughly. And we got 10 years, we probably got about 4 shows a year.
Well, I would say you get more shows than movies, so you're talking about like 80 shows, maybe.
Maybe it could be. It could be
that's
like
a whole other list.
Like that's the thing. It's like the crazy thing about this, like it seems like unfeasible that we could potentially see any of these things happen with that many movies, but that's really the course that they're on, right? And
yeah,
that's the thing.
Galactus might most likely will be the bad guy, so I feel like we all had like different paths of like getting
I tried
a big
to
bad
focus
guy
on like a monster like path and then like a space team path, and then they just all fight Galactus.
Yeah.
And Psycho just like screw Galactus. I'm going with that to do.
Yes, because that I'm starting like from scratch. I didn't start from this existing. I wasn't. Yeah. Maz just said our own phases, so that's why I went with
that's fine.
My own phase.
Which would be cool. Like instead of doing another space, a huge space god like Galactus, who's similar to like Thanos, I guess. I mean, he's different from Thanos, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You take like someone who's more grounded. That's just as scary. Sometimes, grounded characters could be just as scary as these big god characters. So that's why I actually like the way yours ended as well. Like I liked all your phases for different reasons.
Yeah, but Final Doom, come on, what better movie than
that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I had Dr. Doom like do like 4 things, but it like led into like a bigger thing.
Yeah.
I had a couple Dr. Doom movies, and then I took it off, and I was like, because I guess he could just be in the Fantastic Four movie, so that's why I did that. He originally was a movie, but I realized Marvel doesn't really do villain movies. If you really think about it, they focus on their heroes.
That's why I was like trying to go heavy with like the bad guys, because I want to see more of like focus on them and not necessarily just superheroes.
Yeah.
I guess Sony is trying.
Yeah.
But Sony, I feel like Sony is really just milking the Spider-Man IP at this point. Like they're making the wrestler a wrestler movie who was in the Spider-Man comics, or like maybe an issue or whatever that dude. I forgot what his name is, but he's like a wrestler.
Really?
In the Spider-Man. Yeah, they're trying to make a movie or a TV show or something about it.
That's kind of.
I think it's a movie. I'm like, dude, it's like making a show. This is what's a good example? It's like making a movie. You go into the lore of gosh, let me think
It's
about
like
something.
Star Wars. Like you make a movie based off of Ewok.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. You take the story of Star Wars. You're like, okay, you got the Jedi, so you got all these other characters. You got like the Mandalorians. What about those Ewoks? What do we got over there? That's pretty much what it's like making like Sony really milking the IP for Spider-Man at this point. But I guess they gotta do what
Wait,
they
I
gotta
guess
do.
Star Wars actually kind of did that with the Christmas special.
I mean, yeah, they did, but this is a movie. I'm pretty sure it's kind of different. I feel like that was like a small, stupid Christmas thing.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, El Muerto. Yeah, there you go. Thank
El
you, Vic the
Muerto.
Click. El Muerto, starring Bad Bunny. Like,
Nice.
why? Why do we need that ever?
It's like they're trying to like do what MCU's doing by introducing small characters, but like they did it a little too the extreme here, you know. It reminds me of like what was the Vin Diesel movie we got?
Well, the problem is with Sony is they can't. They have to stay with the Spider-Man shit because they don't own anything else. So.
Right. But yeah, I mean, there's so
They have
many
to create their
Spider-Man
own
things that
Spider-Verse.
they could go with. You would think. I mean, why not like a Spider, like girl movie or like
I wonder if they own just like Peter Parker Spider-Man stuff. Like, do they own like Gwen Spider and like Miles?
Well, they
Morales
had
and
they
stuff?
had Into the Spider-Verse was a Sony movie. It was
Oh, yeah, I
animated.
guess.
You know.
Yeah.
I think they're restricted a little bit based on the MCU. Like MCU's like, look, we want to use the Marvel, we want to use Spider-Man, and we want to create the stories for Spider-Man, and you're not allowed to do anything with the stories if we make this deal. And in return, you can have the licenses for the toys and all that. Just let us take care of the stories for
And-
Spider-Man. And then Sony's like, okay. But you didn't say anything about the villains. So that's why like the villains seem so separate from like anything else.
Yeah.
You really watch the movies, they're like, okay, is this connected at
Yeah, it's
all?
really weird watching Spider-Man villain movies without Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the Sinister Six to be on screen with no Spider-Man. You're gonna be
Like what kind of, it's so dumb.
what is going on here? Like, yeah.
How do you have like
That's-
a main villain, like main Spider-Man's main villains, and then like you're questioning whether Spider-Man or not would be there? It's just so weird to me.
Well,
It's
yeah,
like-
and that's why like all the Spider-Man movies that Sony make are really good because Marvel's writing the storyline, the story for it, and then the other movies are like, it's okay. Like I did not watch Carnage yet,
Morbius.
or
Oh, I didn't
Morbius,
see that. Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm afraid. I just hear so many bad things about it. Just like I'll just wait till they're like out on sale.
Yeah,
to
or
pick 'em.
streaming or something.
Stream it or fucking rent it for like $5.
Andy Serkis, I think that's his name. He has one more chance to prove me wrong that he's not a bad director. Because goodness, I love that dude's acting and stuff, and just any movie he's making so far is not really good. But it sucks because I'm such a fan of his work. I hope whatever movie he does next, I hope it's a good one, because goodness, dude, he made like 2 really, really bad movies. Carnage and then Mowgli. He directed Mowgli. For those who don't know who Andy Serkis is, he is Smeagol in Lord of the Rings. He's one of the best mocap actors out there, I would say. And he founded a lot of, or he helped with a lot of.
He's also in Planet of the
mocap
Apes, the
technology.
new Planet of the Apes.
He was Caesar in Planet of the Apes, and he was King Kong. Like, he's such a good actor doing mocap that when I watch his movies, I'm like, dang, dude, like, come on. Like, you could do something really special here. But I'll give him one more shot. One more shot.
Deathlord Strong says, I want Venom and Spider-Man.
That was on my list. I had a Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man versus Venom. That was one of my movies.
So Chris,
Me too.
Chris had said that 3 Bits was his favorite, but mine was his
damn
close
symbiote movie.
second. And he loves anything Illuminati related, so definitely going with 3-Bit to control the Marvel universe. Well, also you have to remember, Chris, I kept Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness in my timeline, and guess who was in that? The Illuminati. I'm just saying.
I just assumed that was already out, so I didn't put that in.
No, it's not out yet.
They need their own movie. Yeah.
But I wanted to
they don't need to
postpone that and have these other movies first.
They don't need to be in those side movies. They need their own story. I think I put that at the end though. So while things are going wrong, I should have put that in the beginning. That's my own.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense for like an end of culmination type thing, right? You know, a standalone Illuminati movie. Maybe at that time, maybe somebody else has.
Yeah, I guess because the X-Men and stuff or you have Xavier, you have Doctor Strange and stuff in there. So, yeah, it can make sense either way.
Cool. I like all of ours. So, I mean, if any of those happen, I'd be happy. You know, so
yeah,
we'll see what MCU does though. We don't. I mean, we know what they've announced, and it's fairly different than what all of us have said, right? So
I feel like ours were like somewhat like kind of the same. Like me and 3-Bit like focused a lot on like the Fantastic Four stuff, and then like me and you, Mav, kind of like had a lot of monster stuff. You had a lot of monster stuff kind of at the end, and I had it at the beginning, and
just different timetables for things to happen. Really, right?
Yeah, I think Psychos was just the most different because he brought in like the Dark Avengers.
Young Avengers.
Yeah, he was like more human focused. I think we kind of went bigger. I feel like.
Yeah, because if he had the goal of bringing back Galactus, like his goal was kind of like the street level and in different parts of Marvel. So building up to that Doctor Doom. So he had like a different goal, and I think our goal was so how do we bring in Galactus towards the end? So how do you do that? You think of space people. You think of like. So yeah, we all kind of had like similar paths in that regard.
Well, I'm really impressed with everybody's list. Hit the like, share, and subscribe, please. Thank you, everybody. Now, I just want to like before like we're wrapping this up, like we do have Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness coming out later this week.
It's a new trailer.
Yeah, do we see that setting the stage now for like a lot of what we're hoping for?
Patrick Stewart's wheelchair in it.
Yeah.
You see a lot more in that final trailer.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. I'm really excited. I'm probably going on
Could
Friday.
you play the final trailer, or would that be more copyright-ness before we head out?
See, I was very surprised that they showed that too, truthfully. Just because as much as they've shown. And that
I feel like they showed a lot, but they've shown nothing.
Yeah, it felt like it was the same stuff we already seen, but just like clear shots.
Well, there were other things
because we know
that
now that that's like, Captain Marvel's Rambo is that one person we couldn't figure out.
Yeah, well, and the Illuminati, because that's what it was. He announced them as Illuminati. As before, we didn't get that. We speculated it was Illuminati. So that's that just things like that. They're like, I'm like, okay. It's like 3-Bit. They said they told us more without telling us anything, pretty much.
Yeah,
it's going to be very interesting how this movie goes.
And Sam Raimi, I want to see those zoom in shots he likes doing. He likes doing these like zoom in shots where it's like. If you ever watch his movies, he does this sort of thing whenever there's an intense moment where it's like. Whew.
I think this is setting up possibly a House of M storyline.
Heck yeah!
All right, so
I think it is.
We're gonna give it a go. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll watch it here. Is this the newest one?
Does it say final?
That's a final trailer.
Final. It's.
I mean, if you just go to the Marvel page, it should be like, oh yeah, yours is old. Yours is from February.
Oh, okay.
Just go to like the Marvel YouTube page and it should. 3 days ago. Yeah.
Wait, that was it, right? That was it, right?
Kate says she wants score guesses based on the trailers.
No, that's not it.
This is May 1st.
I think it'll be a 8.
This is May 1st. Is that it?
I don't know. No, it's only 30 seconds. It's not that.
Okay.
Let me see. Final trailer.
It's literally called Final Trailer.
Okay.
I think it's right there.
This is from. I want to make sure actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
It's not
find
called
that
Final Trailer
too.
on Marvel's site. All right, I'm just gonna go and click on Marvel and find it on their thing.
Where's that trailer at?
I'll
I know what trailer you're talking about.
I
Because
feel like Doctor Strange gonna have some stuff in it that's like not as fun as like Spider-Man. The last Spider-Man we got was just so fun. I think it's just like it's just like almost a perfect movie. Like I feel like Doctor Strange is gonna like be somewhat of a letdown, so I'll give it like a 7.
Is it this one?
Just do the change one, I guess.
This one
Put it
is
in the chat.
15 seconds. That's not it.
This one, just do the change 30.
This has got to
the
be
30
it
one.
because this is 30. It's only 30 seconds, but I mean it's the only one that came out a few days ago.
Yeah, change.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't very long. I don't feel like so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a regular trailer with added scenes, but
Yeah,
Maybe
I
you
can't
saw
find that
like
one.
a fan cut one.
Yeah, it's possible.
no, it was IGN put it out.
In 5 days,
You're wondering what happens now.
The Illuminati will see you, Stephen.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's Peggy
Yeah.
Carter's shield.
yeah.
Captain Britain.
the multiverse.
Okay, was that her? Was that Captain Marvel?
Yeah, that's Monica Rambeau. I feel like this is
Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel?
yeah, or someone.
Yeah, we had
as
guessed that
Captain Marvel.
before, right?
Yeah. We just weren't sure. It could have been
Multiverse.
someone else.
Will change you forever.
Yeah, this is the.
Ooh, whose
I guess
helmet
there
is
was
that?
a
Is
long
that
one.
is that an Ultron head?
That's an Ultron bot.
Yeah, okay.
One of the ones who are escorting
We
Doctor
will see
Strange.
what kind of Doctor
Yep.
Strange you are.
That's his new wheelchair, the one that
Ooh.
floats. That's yellow in the like the '90s cartoons.
Yes.
Super cool.
Yeah.
So we
this
got
is
three-
different.
We got multiple Doctor
Marvel Studios Doctor Strange. Rated PG-13. Seen in premium large
Let's
formats in
go.
IMAX.
Yeah, that wasn't the trailer, but I don't know where the other one is. So, but it,
Well, you said
it
it was
showed
on
a lot of the new
IGN?
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I only see a time trailer. Maybe.
That's I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see.
I mean, you would think it'd be like on the top, one of the top results, right?
Yeah, I feel like that new thing we just watched just showed more of what I was looking for, anyways. So we're good.
Right. There's a new final trailer from Screen Culture. I don't think that's actually. I think that's not it, right? Like.
Well,
Yeah.
like I said, it's
There's a Doctor Strange 2 leak.
Was there really?
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
There's like someone
don't look at
recording
it.
the theater.
All right. Well,
Score guesses before we go. I say 8. And Jasper, what'd you say?
7.
You say 7. Okay.
from
Oh,
like
this is it.
IMDb score guesses or like critic score guesses or
Just what we rate the movie as, I guess, is what you meant.
okay.
Yeah,
So what did you say?
I think it'll
three
be an
best?
8.
8. Jasper said 7 because he's a pessimist. Is that right?
Well, I don't give anything a 10, but I
Right.
don't want to give anything a 5 either. So it's like 7's
I
the
think
middle.
Endgame was a 10 for me.
Yeah. Well, what do you think, Psycho?
Endgame
Like,
was a 10.
where do you think it's gonna sit with you? 1 to 10.
This multiverse of madness.
Yeah.
if they focus too much on American Chavez, for me, it's probably going to be a lower score. But if it doesn't, high 8s, low 9s.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm assuming they are gonna somewhat focus on here, which is why on my list I put America Chavez.
I think it's sitting around like a 70 something on like Rotten Tomatoes right now, and based on like the negative reviews I've seen, everything they said that they didn't like, I'm like, fuck yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. You know?
Yeah, I just like my thing was like Spider-Man was so good, and I just like it's coming off that like, can anything be as good as that? You know, it's like
What, No Way
Yeah.
Home?
yeah.
There could be like a
Yeah.
lot of little. Yeah, I'm almost wondering if there's gonna be too much weird shit happening in this. That's the one thing that could throw it off, right? Like, I'm gonna say I'm anticipating it to be an 8 for me. I'm trying to set my expectations like
Yeah.
not as high as I actually have hopes for. Like I have hopes for this being like one of the best ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But according to the feedback that I'm seeing so far, it's supposed to be really good, but not maybe one of the best. So I'm kind of putting my expectations in check, where I'm more like on the optimist side of when I am positive when I see these movies. Like, so I'm thinking it'll probably sit around an 8, but we'll see.
Yeah. I think it'll be an 8.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm saying for me too, babe. I think it'll be an 8. Jasper sitting at a 7. Psycho's 8 or 9, and 3-Bits are around an 8. But I could see it and be like, oh, that's the worst Marvel movie I've seen. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't know about that. I think Thor: Dark World still got that held down.
Yeah,
It
I mean,
still has the title.
compared to like Eternals and Black Widow and like movies like Thor: The Dark World, I mean, this is gonna be like,
It's gonna be better than those.
yeah,
I'm
for
sure.
You know, Sam
Like,
Raimi.
Black Widow, when I saw the trailer, I was like, it looks like it might be bad, but I'm hoping going into it, it'll
Yeah.
you know. And it didn't, like, I like moments of Black Widow with I think everyone references like the dinner scene, and things like that.
What was that dude?
But
What was her father's name? Was it like Red? Was it
Guardian or
Red
something?
Guardian.
Oh, Red Guardian. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the worst Marvel movie is still Thor: Dark World.
That or Iron Man 3.
But that was such an important movie.
I know. It was.
It's crazy.
Iron Man, when I rewatched Iron Man 3, I didn't have as much issues with it as I did when I first watched it.
Iron Man
Thor 2,
3, I think,
regardless,
was like one of the most pointless Marvel movies. Iron Man 3 was.
It just like wasn't even Iron Man until like the end of the movie too. It's just kind of
Yeah, and like there was like the threat,
and it was like a fake out that was just like kind of pointless.
Yeah, I mean the threat was kind of weird on it. You know, all that stuff was kind of like, I think it was an excuse to have another Iron Man movie. You know, because they were doing so well.
Yeah.
As opposed
that
to
kid was in it though. The kid was in it for the first time.
Yeah, but like the only other time we see him is like at the funeral for Tony Stark. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So
I forget who does he become?
He could become the new Iron Man, I guess.
I thought that was going to be his daughter.
Well, I said Ironheart because
I guess his daughter would have got erased, right? Because they went back in time. I don't remember.
She was there at the end.
No, she was alive.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's still alive. She was at the funeral and stuff. Remember, She was like,
"I love you."
Oh, I forgot to mention in the Captain's movie that I was talking about, that also was going to be Chris Evans' Captain America was going to be in that, because they were going to go back in time in that movie as well. I forgot to mention that. The whole interdimensional shit made it possible, right? So you're going to have Captain Marvel, Captain Falcon, Captain America, and then other Captain America, and then an alternate version of Bucky Barnes that was also Captain America, and then also Agent Carter's Captain.
Well, if you want to correct you just want slight corrections. Your Ant-Man and Hulk going in the quantic realm has nothing to do with time, so you'd have to change that. That would have to do with size. So
well, no, it does have to do with time, because they transverse the quantic realm in order to go back in time to get the stones. Gotta check yourself, Jasper.
A time machine.
Yeah, no, but that was using Ant-Man. It's like a quantum realm thing. It was a shrinking stuff to make themselves small enough to traverse the quantum realm. Like it was using the Ant-Man stuff. They remember they had to get the vials of the PIM particles and stuff to do that. So they only have a certain amount of uses of it. So they need the PIM particles in order to traverse time with the time machine that they made. So like that's how all that stuff sets up for being able to go back and get the Infinity Stones, was becoming small enough to traverse the quantum realm. And the whole point of the time machine was to navigate them through it. Anyway.
Yeah, that's true. They're supposed to do another Wasp movie, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Ant-Man and Wasp.
There's another Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania.
Yeah. But it's like the Wasp.
But
I mean,
one of your made-up Academy
movies?
Okay.
That is confirmed.
Yeah,
that is confirmed.
That's a confirmed one. Yeah, I don't. We'll see what we're gonna get out of that, but I think it has gonna.
A lot of those.
The Ant-Man movies have just kind of been, They're like, all right, they're not bad. They're just not great.
But they're like they're crucial with what happened with Infinity War, with the time travel and Endgame. So without that, then you can't tell the
second one,
quantum realm.
I guess
the second one was more of figuring out traversing through the quantum realm, finding his wife. So that's what that was. So the third one, I think, is now that they can go back and
they know how to time travel now. They can do whatever the hell they
things,
want.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, they time traveled on purpose to get the Infinity Stones. Like they know how to do it. Like that's a possibility always, right? Like, and as long as they have PIM particles and a time machine,
in Iron Man's formula.
Oh man, I wish I didn't read that.
Which was the shape of.
You got to remember, like Paul Rudd got lost for 5 years in the quantum realm, and when he to him it was like no time at all, right? And he woke up after the blip, like so time works differently in the quantum realm, and that's why Michelle Pfeiffer still looks like she does, and she's been lost for that long, right? Like so. I think that the that's always going to be a component that they can go to if they need to fix something, right? Is using Ant-Man.
Well,
and
will the time machine work now since they broke the timeline in Loki? Like they split.
I know there's multiple timelines, so I don't know. I think
that's where
it works.
I think that's what Quantumania addresses, is what now that the timeline is fractured.
They can jump between any time or something.
How is the quantum realm? How is this traversing now? Going through.
So is Black Widow dead in all timelines?
No, some timelines Hawkeye would have died. Sometimes they wouldn't even have been there.
And you got to remember in Loki how many Soul Stones are just sitting in those drawers and all that shit.
I know, it's just casually.
So that's what I'm thinking. From the events of Loki and all that stuff, it's possible to bring back Natasha.
Yeah, but you'll have the same instance of Gamora. Gamora's like, who the fuck is Peter Quill? Is this my fucking boyfriend? Seriously? So she'll be different because it'd be a different Natasha. She didn't have the same outcomes of what was happening.
Yeah,
within.
It would have been a multiverse.
Yeah, so she could be evil Natasha, or she could be, still
madly in love Natasha and just be like Hawkeye's husband already.
Yeah, fucking I love you, fucking Hawkeye. Yeah. One of those.
Yeah, they could go a lot of ways. I don't know if she wants to come back to that role though. That's my whole thing.
They kind of pissed her off with that last deal they made.
You don't think she'll come back now that she won that?
No,
settlement?
I think a lot of the original Avengers are not coming back. Honestly,
I think they cost too much money.
Robert Downey, I don't think he's coming back, unless it's a brief cameo, maybe another version of him.
That's what I mean. If you have them a small part of certain movies, you know what I mean? Instead of hey, you're gonna do 3 movies for us, you know what I mean? I could foresee them being small components utilized for big moments. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think Robert's coming back. I don't think Scarlett Johansson's coming back. I don't think Chris Evans is really coming back. like most of the main Avengers cast is
Thor's like the only one we still got.
Thor's like the last
And
one,
Hulk,
I
I
guess.
Well, Chris
Thor and Hulk.
Evans is like, dude, I'll do this forever. Whatever you guys need me to do. You know, that's like fucking easy cash for him. He's like, hey,
They could. I wonder how.
yeah. No, I just read. I'm sorry.
It would be so funny if they do like a cameo of him as like Human Torch from like the Fox universe and the multiverse.
I really want them to do that. That would be hilarious. Like
That
bringing
would.
They
it
could
in
also
that
do
version
that
of-
with fucking Josh Brolin and like Cable and
Oh yeah,
and Thanos. You know,
look at them using the same actors over and over.
Yeah. No, I just
Well, those are two different like.
I just saw
and
a
companies at the
headline.
time, so.
I just saw a headline on fucking Twitter. It says Doctor Strange co-producer says WandaVision fans will be heartbroken by the multiverse of madness.
Oh man,
The
the kids
fuck
are gonna
does that
die.
mean?
That's what that means.
I think that just because
No.
Kevin
Those
Feige
kids are
came out
dead.
and said that blast at the end of WandaVision was just an energy blast and had nothing to do with anything, didn't he?
no, he didn't.
So I
He
think-
said that's the opposite. He came out and said that the blast there and also the events with King the Conqueror is what caused the events of Doctor Strange spell to fail. Right, which we
I
had.
thought he said that Wanda's thing was just an energy blast, though it had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the Wanda thing.
Then why was like she like, you know what you've done? Like, remember like when
Yeah,
forgot
that's
her name.
Kevin Feige trying to throw you off. That's what I'm telling you. That's what they try to do best. Is just trying
was
to
it
throw you
Agatha?
off.
Is that her name? Agatha?
Agatha, yeah.
Yeah, I think Agatha
But-
Harkness. Yeah, she was like, you don't
Yeah.
realize what you've just done or whatever when she did that.
Yeah. Well, that was to me was like, I think that sent a signal to Mephisto, and Mephisto's like, "Hey, those
I
children
got a
are my
soul
soul
to deal with.
shards.
Yeah.
Those are my soul shards. I need them back." And I don't know. There's so many things that they could do, and with this freaking WandaVision thing, because now it looks like WandaVision is. That's what I'm thinking. Is this like the start of House of M? Like instead of but reversed to the point where instead of taking away mutant powers, she gives mutant powers.
She's the
You know?
origin, like the apocalypse
Yes.
giving mutant powers. That'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
And because it's like how like House of M, like everything like was transpired. We would have mutants already and all that introduced and all that, but they didn't. So instead of removing mutant powers, she gives mutant powers. So they're reversing House of M. So it's gonna be
Just to make it a little different. Yeah.
yeah, because you can't.
Because Marvel
if you
does change things. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Oh yeah, that's to keep things fresh for fans. People that are diehards are like, okay, this is a new take, and new people and casual fans like, yes, it's a Marvel movie, and they don't give a shit about if it follows the comics or.
I just really want to see the whole monster side of things already, like Mephisto and vampires and all that shit in there.
I think we
I
will.
mean, we're finally seeing like the multiverse things, which I didn't know they would go that route. I'm glad they did, because like 6 years ago, I'm like, oh man, I wonder one day if they'll ever introduce like multiverse stuff. And then look at us now. We're definitely hitting the multiverse.
Well, they touched it with the whole Spider-Man into the Spideyverse, and you're like,
yeah, but I didn't think they would do it in the movies,
yeah. And then it was like little hints. They were just like throwing little Easter eggs out there, little breadcrumbs, and then they're like, guess what we're doing, folks. And then boom, here we are. Tomorrow is gonna be. I have to go get tickets. So
I wonder what they're gonna do after these phases. Like after my phase, after Jasper's phase, and Psycho Mav, like what will they do after the multiverse? I can't even think that far ahead because there's so much they could do. Maybe they will go in that monster direction that Jasper is talking about, like more focused on Blade and like the lesser known characters, or maybe they're bringing like rebooting characters like Iron Man. I don't know.
Well, see, I feel like movie wise, I feel like they went too big with Thanos, and then like they're like, how do we top that? And they're like, multiverse, like we can do anything we want now.
Oh yeah. But what's after that?
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy.
But it's a multiverse, so it's always around. You just make a new universe of some bullshit, and it's like
we should make a DC fan list too. DC homework.
Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe next month we can do that.
Yeah, next month.
Give us a little bit of time.
I don't know if we can do 40 movies of that because I'm
like 10.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we got to start somewhere. The thing is, we already have such an established like history now with the MCU. You have something to go off of. Like,
yeah, I think DC, you can probably just start fresh and be like, yeah, we're making our own shit now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's kind of what they're maybe
top 20 movies.
Doing,
let's go.
You know, so
do the top 20.
Sup Sour Blow, sup Back from Dead, sup Chris, Vic Click, Jay Vargas. Appreciate all you guys watching. Yeah, maybe you're right, Jasper. I can't find anything on the Reality Blast comments though. I know that he said that about the that it was the Loki and He Who Remains.
I thought Psycho put a tweet in the FunPop or one of the chats?
Yeah, that's what I saw. Oh, okay. Yeah, He Who Remains, that stuff he said had to do with the spell. Remember, like we were talking about it on the show before, like Doctor Strange wouldn't make that mistake. You know, like he would make.
Like that. And that was like Jasper was onto something when he said that, because I remember podcast Jasper was like, you know what if the events of Loki are what happened with Spider-Man, and when we're like, holy fuck, that you're on to something. And then Marvel came out and said, oh no, it wasn't the Loki event, it was this. And then they come out and say it was the Loki event. So anything that they say is a fucking lie, and don't listen to them and believe what you want.
Yeah.
It's throwing you off your game.
Yeah, that whole Loki event threw off everything. It's what started this multiverse shit right now. So now we're, that started the culmination of what's going to happen for this entire, unless they close the multiverse and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness already. Wouldn't that be insane?
Oh,
if they already end that, and it's back to one timeline.
If they end it just like that, I don't know. I don't think they would
come up with some like cosmic bullshit science, like we made a machine that stops the opening of multiple dimensions in one dimension. So
Vic the Click, that's a good way to create the mutants. I mean, it's different. The mutants are supposed to originate from Apocalypse for the most part. He's like the first mutant. I do love that storyline, to be honest. I think that's like pretty sick storyline, but if they wanted to change it and make it make sense in the MCU, it does make sense to do it from I think
what if
from Wanda's
this is just but shit, 3-Bit hasn't seen Moon Knight. Never mind, can't say that. I'll have to wait for him to leave and tell you three or tell you us.
Go ahead.
Okay, so in Moon Knight, kind of towards like in the last episode, he like puts down his cane and he starts sucking up a bunch of souls. What if those souls come back and they're the mutants? Because it would be kind of like Apocalypse, because it's in Egypt and he used powers to like weigh their souls, and then they come back from the afterlife and they're like, oh shit, we got powers.
I gotta watch the show, but that would be kind of cool because
I don't know, that'd be
the
interesting.
Egyptian vibe. Apocalypse comes from like Egypt. I'm pretty sure, right? That's a smart way to do it, dude.
That'd be very interesting if they do it that way.
You hear this, Feige?
You could have ties to like the gods, and then have it some way or another, right? So,
but I do think
because like maybe when their souls are getting sucked up by that god, like when they get expelled from that god, they're like, we got some god powers now, and that's where they get to.
Oh, hold on. Okay, remember when we saw that one poster, right? And it was for Spider-Man, and we saw him just out in outer space looking down on Earth, and we saw that red aura around Earth, okay? And it was for Spider-Man. What if that was never really for Spider-Man, and they and that was actually Nick Fury looking down at Earth and seeing
you
this
just have to show
red.
me the scene. I don't quite remember what you're talking about.
No, it was a poster.
Oh.
Mav, you know, in 3-bit knows what I'm
That
talking
was
about.
that one of the first official posters for it, wasn't it?
It wasn't an official though.
Oh,
But
so it was just a
what if
fan-made poster.
that they say that is man-made? But what if it was one of the because it was one of the creators of in the MCU, and they purposely put it out there, but changed the character.
We're getting into conspiracy theories now.
Yes, and then it was actually Nick Fury looking down and seeing Earth encased in this red hex, and it's actually that's how she's creating mutants all over the world, where a traumatic event changes them from the blip, and those that were changed are now mutants.
I remember y'all telling me, and I showed this poster, and I thought it was an official poster when we showed it before.
That's what I'm saying. It looks that good that they could be, they could put it out there just to throw people off, put it as Spider-Man, like, it's Spider-Man, and it never came, and people forget about it. But maybe Spider-Man was actually Nick Fury, because he is out of space with the scroll, not squirrels.
Well, even more conspiracies. I just Googled, imaged it, and I can't find it anywhere. It's erased. They erased it out of the internet database. I know. I remember the one you're talking about. I remember you sharing this, and I thought it was official. That's why I shared it. But like,
it was is outer space. And that's where Nick Fury is. But it was
we still where's Nick Fury? We haven't seen him for a while, right?
He's in outer space, chilling,
yeah,
with the scroll. Is it Skrull or Scroll?
Oh, because of Captain Marvel? Was that the last time we saw him?
Yeah, he was like helping them find a new home or something like that.
Yeah.
He was in but it wasn't him, it was another him, right? In the second Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at the end of Endgames, that's not really Fury, that was a Skrull. The Skrulls have invaded.
Skrulls are supposed to be like a big part of Secret Invasion too, but they were bad guys in that version.
Yeah,
and
there's probably good ones and bad ones. I would think maybe.
Correct.
It seems like most of them are good though in MCU's version. So I wonder.
Because they made Captain Marvel's like fire team or whatever like bad guys like fighting them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means they kind of screwed themselves there, because Secret Wars, that's kind of what the main people they fight in Secret Wars.
I think there was a problem because they didn't have the rights to like the original like aliens they wanted or some shit, so they had to make like the Skrulls up for their like storyline or some shit, wasn't it? Like I think Fox owns some like part of it, or someone owns another part of it.
Technically, Fox owns the Skrulls, but they made a deal. Like they basically bargained characters. Like even Galactus, like was bargained. Like they constantly.
I've come to bargain.
I've come to bargain. Do my move. I remember seeing it like an article about that. They're like, you can use the Skrulls if you allow us to use, like one character is a good example is Scarlet Witch, for example. Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver. The reason why they were able to sort of bargain those characters, because those are X-Men characters. Like Scarlet Witch is Magneto's daughter, right? Yeah. For the most part, and Quicksilver, son. But they were able to do some weird sort of bargaining thing, because technically, yes, he's in the X-Men, but there are some books where Scarlet Witch is very heavily a part of the Avengers storyline. So they're kind of like.
Do we know how they got their powers in the MCU? Because like they were just like captured by the one like general dude in was it Ultron?
Yeah,
we don't know how they got their powers, do we?
I think they started to explain it in WandaVision when she was at the TV set or something. And got blown up. I think she just had it. It just was like,
that would mean that mutants are already around, maybe.
Oh no, with Scarlet Witch, she's a part of that. Like, she's a Scarlet Witch, so she was destined to be.
There it is.
That's how they kind of explained it.
I found it.
I don't know about.
We got it at the same time. I'm gonna bring it up here. Yeah, this is
I'm
like
telling
from
you.
somebody named Boss Logic.
Oh
But
yeah, I know Boss Logic.
Yeah, he's just a like
He's
an
a
artist.
talented Photoshop dude.
Yeah, he's not an
I
official.
follow him.
that
on
is no. But to have instead of Spider-Man in that photo, imagine Nick Fury looking down at that, and I was like, "Fuck."
Are you
What's
bringing it up?
this?
Yeah, I will, but like we can't look anything into it at all because Marvel had
It's not
nothing to do with
official,
this,
yeah.
like whatsoever.
No, I understand that, but
Well, I'm pretty sure
also
Marvel
remember
hired him to do it.
there were three.
I'm
There
thinking.
was that one poster with the three Doctor Strange portals with three Spider-Man or two Spider-Mans coming out of each portal, and that was way before being introduced. That it was the three Spider-Mans. So, and that was fan made. So there are a lot of these fan made or more could be
it could just be
leaked.
a fan of Doctor Strange and Spider-Man.
It could be leaked, guys.
Oh,
I
that
don't
one.
think
Okay.
so. I know the
I
one
know
you're
Boss
talking
Logic.
about.
He's created official artwork for Spider-Man, but this is not it.
Because that is Sword, and Sword is the new Shield. Because Sword and Shield. That's remember the whole thing.
Yeah, but this was also like way before Spider-Man No Way Home came out, and also none of this was actually anything to do with what was in the movie. So
I know, but that's why I'm saying that it's remove Spider-Man and put Nick Fury there, and that's what's going to be happening. Because this came out around the time of the ending of WandaVision, and it was like they disguised it as a Spider-Man poster, but it's technically Scarlet Witch event occurs, and that's what we thought. The House of M is going to happen, and that's what my theory is coming from.
So you think Boss Logic knew some inside shit and he made a secret little poster that's going to reveal
I mean,
future?
again, Boss Logic, he
Possibly.
created he did create official artwork for No Way Home. It was just later. So he created the one I actually didn't like it that much compared to his other work, but he created it was like all the Spider-Mans, and it was like a Statue of Liberty thing behind him and whatnot, but yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Maybe Psycho. Maybe we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll see the scene with Nick Fury standing there in the future. Who knows?
That would be fucking hilarious if we see it tomorrow.
Tomorrow. What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Doctor Strange 2.
You gonna go to a midnight premiere?
Fuck yeah.
No,
it starts tomorrow. I think 8:00.
It comes out on the 6th. Comes out Friday.
No,
I think you can get Thursday screenings though, but the official release date's Friday.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir.
It's so weird. I don't know why they just don't say the release date's Thursday if you can watch the movie Thursday.
I know.
I think I'm going Friday during the day, like early, to see it.
We'll be in
Like
Chattanooga
around 12
on
o'clock.
Friday. So
Tomorrow, May 5th.
what? You guys talking about?
It's releases tomorrow night. Yeah.
3:30 it starts. So I can go to a 3:30 screening or a 6:30 screening in 3D. Or standards from 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 9:30. And then IMAX is 4, 7, and 10.
What theater chain are you looking at?
This
every
is
theater
just
chain has it.
this is just Beacon, and they just they're like some not as top. It's not a Regals. It's not a Cinemark. They're like below that. They're like maybe third tier.
Wait, who did you say?
Well, the actual theater is called Beacon Stadium, but
yeah,
I forget the name. It's like Hometown something is the actual theater chain. It's not a Regal. It's not Cinemark. So it's
I literally don't have that. It sucks. I don't
yeah,
see
my
them.
shitty theater that only has like 8 theaters like across the nation has it is tomorrow.
Just look at what's your local theater, 3-bit?
$11 for IMAX. Because it starts at 4 p.m. Oh my god, it's so filled out.
Oh wait, what? Okay, I do see some.
Yeah, it releases everywhere tomorrow.
Why is it? Oh, why does it say the release date is the 6th though?
Because that's the way they do it. Like every movie, they always say the day after, and then like they start showing them on Thursday. I have no idea why. I think it's like it started originally with like Friday releases at midnight, right? Like, and then eventually they're like, okay, well, we're selling out of these. Let's start putting some at like 10. You know, now they're like, oh, we're selling out of those. Let's start putting some at like 8. Now it's like gotten to the point where they're just like start putting them like in the middle of the day on the day before the release date.
Yeah, because they used to be midnight releases. And
I can't even. I guess my website's down to purchase tickets online. I can't. It's not even loading. So it just says error every time I try to load it.
I'm on Fandango, and it seems
That's
like there's a
where I
couple.
went.
So maybe I could try and see that tomorrow with my girl. Let's see.
Cool. All right. Well, we've been going. This is like one of the longest episodes of FunPop we've ever had, guys.
Last week was pretty long. We started later though.
Well,
last week was pretty long.
True. We did have to get through 160 movies. We did it. That took about 20 minutes. That wasn't that long, but we had great discussions. We had a lot of fun. And I want to thank the chat. Lupa, shout out to you. Thanks again for that candy. Jay Vargas.
According to the chat,
everybody,
I will be leading the Marvel universe. You're welcome.
Yeah, I think Chris is the only one that voted, so I don't know if that counts. Yeah, I could put a little poll real quick, but like, here's the thing: not everybody here saw it, so I don't know if it'd be really fair. You know, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it on the comments. Everybody, go watch the segments where we revealed our 40 MCU movies starting from tomorrow going forward, and then leave in the comments below whose list reigns supreme, and what do you want to see happen for the MCU. But I appreciate you all. Thank you for watching. 3-bit. Where can everybody find you, sir?
Everyone can follow me on Twitter at i3bit. I'm on this show as well as FSP and occasionally Xbox Ultimate when I can. If not, you catch me just playing games with Mav on stream sometimes. But yeah, that's pretty much where you guys can find me. I'm usually talking about tech stuff, random memes, coffee, waking up, morning messages and stuff like that. I try to keep things positive for the most part on my Twitter. So if you guys like that stuff, you can find me on there.
Right on. Jasper, the lore master. Can everybody find you?
You can check me out at Lore Jasper on Twitter, Lore Master Jasper on YouTube. Mondays, FSP, 10 o'clock Eastern now, right?
Yes, yeah, we're moving. Okay, so I think officially this is gonna work for the long term, right? I don't see any reason why not. FSP Mondays at 10 p.m. Eastern. FunPop 7 p.m. Eastern, PM in the PM 7 p.m. Eastern, and Xbox Ultimate at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, and then Wednesdays FunPop and Fridays Xbox Ultimate, and then this Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern, I will be on the Shop Podcast PTK's channel. So that's where I'll be this Saturday, and that's about it.
Awesome, man. And the one and only Mellow Fellow from outer space, the vitamin inhaler, the man who comes up with conspiracies and rambles off a bunch of badass Marvel movies off the top of his head, pretends that he has a list. It's absolutely amazing. Love it, Psycho. No, thanks for hanging out, man. And where can everybody find
always you? Yeah, chat, you guys were awesome tonight. Thank you. And of course, Jasper, 3-bit, Mav, it's always fun to be here. You guys can find me everywhere social media at KhAos. You can find me once in a while on FSP on Mondays, Wednesdays always on FunPop, and you can find me Friday on Xbox Ultimate with the crew, because I stopped saying numbers now. I'm done because I don't know how many we're gonna have. So the crew on Fridays, you can come join us.
Right on.
How about you, Mav? Where can people find your sexy ass?
Well, hey now. Wasn't expecting that. I'm a little bit more confident now going into my outro. You can find me on Twitter, Fun Speculation, where we give updates for all the stuff going on the channel. Hit the notifications on Twitter or on YouTube. You'll find out when we're going live. Post lots of updates. And also, check out for our show slate that is now concrete for the time being. No, probably for the long haul, I think these times are going to work. So Monday, FSP, like these guys said, Fun Speculation Podcast. We got a whole open panel system going with the family here, Fun Speculation. And that's going to be at 10 p.m. Eastern. So we're doing a late show on Monday nights following all the other big shows that are out there. So Mondays are usually good for news also. So I kind of think it's going to work out really good. This show, Wednesdays, is always 7 p.m. Eastern. Pong Soul and I on Thursday. So that's tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Lots of acquisition talk and business talk are going to be happen on a PM in the PM tomorrow because we're having CMBR Ray. He writes for Iron Lords of Gaming, also is in the investment world out there. He understands a lot of this stuff that's going on behind the scenes in a different way than many of us do. So love to have his insight and input whenever this stuff's going on. Talking about WB Discovery, WB Games things. We're going to be talking about Ubisoft. We'll be talking about the Embracer Group acquisition of the Square Enix studios that just happened. And lots of other stuff. So make sure to tune in tomorrow for that, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then also Fridays at Xbox Ultimate Podcast, where we just have a lot of fun hanging out with the fam. Friday nights, celebrate all things Xbox, have a blast. And yeah, other than that, just gaming. Streams are always fun. Thank you to everybody who tuned in last night to the birthday stream and took part and got congratulations to the winners of the giveaways. Thanks for all the birthday wishes yesterday as well and today. You hope everybody has a fantastic evening tonight and have a good one. Bye.
3-bit showing his big blue stick there.
That's what that was.
Hold on. This is Luke Skywalker.
Skywalker.
It's Luke Skywalker's.
Ooh, nice. That looks like a nice one.
Yeah, it was like.
Are we still live?
It's $100-something.
We are still live. All right. Bye, everybody. May the 4th be with you.
FunPop. FunPop.